Hey everybody, how's it going? Everybody there? Good to see you. Alright, so today we have our weekly AMA stream. Sorry that this week's is late. So my white balance on my camera is doing something funny. Let me adjust that. Strangeness. Figure out how to get it to save the temperature that I set. Good camera. Alright. Replace the whole board for $900, someone says. That's not what we do here, most of the time. Most of the time we try to avoid that. What is the local time in New York? It is 6:20 p.m. Are you getting that old restaurant? We'll see. You know, again, it's really, really important to not assume you're getting something until it's done and it's signed and you have something on paper that's good. I will have to see if the deal that is given to me is a good one. I still have not seen the lease yet. I still have not read the terms. He said he'd be interested in sending me a lease after going through some of the papers that I sent him. Seems like a straight shooter, but there's always something. You still gotta just do your due diligence. Make sure that you don't get screwed. Let's see. Hello from Romania. Hello. Age. I am 30. I am old. Did you rent the space? Not yet. Greetings from Australia. Why hello, people from Australia. If you're in Australia, you should check out pldaniels.com. The Bafang is a uni you add to the bike. What base bike did you use? I've tried the Schwinn Searcher 2, the Trek Dual Sport 4, and the Trek Roscoe 6, and Paul tried an Ashiki Colorado comp. Are you a Bernie Sanders supporter? I try to avoid using the S word when it comes to any politician. It'll come back to bite you in the ass later. Do you throw an apple at the Apple people? That doesn't make sense. Since you have a lot of experience blowing up Bafangs, what do you think the max power the BBS HD can handle reliably? Well, I don't think it's a question so much as power as it is a question of the controller that's used. So if you use the stock controller, even at 1,000 watts, honestly, even at 800 watts, you can destroy the pinion. I've destroyed the piece that actually spins many times, even when my display showed me 20 or 25 amps and a battery that couldn't do over 30. Yet recently I've been putting 45, 55, 60 amps into that thing, and I haven't killed it because I got a sine wave controller. The ASI BAC800, which I do not recommend, it's harder to program that thing than it is to program an Apple SMC. It's a long story. Don't avoid anything that's based on the ASI accelerated systems controllers. That I've yet to kill one, and the Sabaton 72150 I've yet to kill a single pinion or anything in a BBS HD. So a lot of it is not the power that you put through it, but the controller. Because the stock controller, the thing that it puts through it, just kills the pinions. Wow, that's loud. Alan Miranda donated $2.50. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. You're the reason why I have a little success in my life, says Marfs K. I opened a store because of you. Thank you, Lewis. Oh, and I like BlackBerry too. Well, that's awesome. Send me some pictures of your store. You have my email, lewis@rossmanngroup.com. I would love to see that. Fanspin podcast with Lewis and Paul. What would we talk about in a Fanspin podcast? Are you still using the same office chair list in your description? No, that thing hasn't been available for a while, so I'm using some cheap $30 piece of junk. How many repairs does the shop perform from out-of-state customers? I don't know the number. I know the percentage is between 40 to 45% at the moment. And it seems to be going up. I hope you get it, says CH Drummer. Well, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Are you religious? Not really. My grandma says my grandpa was watching The Honeymooners in the 1980s, and my grandma sees that he's laughing, and she walks by and smacks him. His name is Luigi. Smacks him in the back of the head, and he goes, "What was that for?" And she says, "Next life is for laughing, this life is for God." And she was serious. She wasn't joking. It's just The hyper-religiousness of my family is what made me less religious later in life. It was really something where smiling in and of itself was something that you had to feel bad about. I don't get it. One of those, it's a small town Roman Catholicism that does. San Benedetto del Perilis. I can't speak Italian. I speak Italian worse than Brad Pitt's character on Inglourious Bastards. Arrivederci. Buongiorno. I'm ashamed to my history. An embarrassment to my history. I love that $10,000 space you showed yesterday. The basement could be a great shipping hub. Yeah, I really do hope things do work out with that space. I just want to make sure I didn't come off as too eager. Because when they said, yeah, we're going to want, we may want, I'm not yet, but we may want a 4-month deposit and a personal guarantee. Ugh. Yeah, I may have come off as too eager if I gave you the idea that I'm going to do the construction, I'm going to put a gate on the space because there's no gate or security on it. I'm going to redo your basement, clean out your cockroaches, make the place look beautiful, get ventilation down there, do all the stuff, insulate it, do all the shit that I need to do. Sign the guarantee personally, a personal guarantee, and 4-month deposit. I probably look too eager, but we'll see. I'm hoping for the best. He seems like a genuinely good dude, and we will see from there. I have a MacBook Pro, mid-2014. I'm thinking of upgrading the SSD with an Evo 962 terabyte and Syntec adapters. This is a dependable solution. In my experience, those adapters mostly suck. And again, I'm just saying in my experience because I don't have a bunch of experience with them. But in my limited experience, every time somebody gets one of those little adapters, they wind up with kernel panics or random freezes. A lot of those adapters are made like shit. So I am not a big fan of them. I know that the SSDs are disgustingly expensive for that machine. I still recommend the Transcend ones. The Transcend SSDs are the ones that I recommend because they work, they don't randomly die, they don't show up dead like the OWC ones do. The OWC SSDs are an embarrassment to SSDs. I would not buy any of those. Please avoid those. I know the price looks sexy, it really does, but if it's like keeping your data on a piece of paper that you wrote it with a fountain pen and you put the piece of paper outside in the rain. Like, that's what it's like keeping your data on an OWC SSD. Would like to send Mr. Clinton some Bitcoin. Please provide the receive address of Mr. Clinton. The Bitcoin receive address of Mr. Clinton. Sure. I will give you the Bitcoin receive address of Mr. Clinton. Do you believe in Flying Spaghetti Monster? The Flying Spaghetti Monster is probably the closest thing to a deity I've worshipped in my lifetime. So I put a Bitcoin address in the live chat, and you can donate to that, and it will go straight to Mr. Clinton. Yep, we're going to hold it for him. Same way that, when parents say, yeah, we're putting... You remember when you got birthday gifts as a kid, like when you were 4 or 6 years old? I loved when I got a video game. I hated when I got money. There's nothing worse than when your aunt, your uncle, or your parents' friends gives you money for your birthday, because you don't get to keep it. Your parents embezzle it. They go, yeah, we're going to put this into his college fund. Sure you are. Yeah, we're not going to do that. All that Bitcoin is going to go straight to Mr. Clinton directly. I hope your quest to find a new store goes better than the last season of Game of Thrones. Yeah, I hope nobody dies in the process. There is somebody who wanted to open a Chinese restaurant there. And I'm prepared. I'll go full Ramsey Bolton on anybody that tries to open a Chinese restaurant in my laptop repair shop. I love you, Lewis, not literally. Thank you very much, Mr. Bomber. Clap, bidding, clap, war, clap. Bidding war? What? Just war, no bidding war. Anyone know how much it would cost to do a cleanup and check of a MacBook? I don't know what cleanup ever means, so I'm never able to really quote anything for that. If you want me to, I could spray your computer with Windex and wipe it with a paper towel, but I don't think that that's what you're asking for. $1.99 from Johnny X. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I don't really have a checkup. I mean, if you want me to blow compressed air in it, that's free. We never charge for that. But You look. You got a. Orhan, are you going to a job interview? Yeah, go for it. Wait, do you have a date or a job interview? Orhan's wearing a fucking polo shirt and dress pants.
Seriously?
And he's using cologne. Nathan Clark funded $2. Thank you very much for the $2. What is he wearing cologne and dress pants and a polo shirt for?
He's going to a job interview? We're not
It's either
losing our Orhan, are we?
It's either a job interview or a date. Anyway.
Orhan's got plenty of dates. He ain't got to dress up for dates. All that shirtless Instagram pictures.
What? I got for free an old MacBook, A1211. Is it any good for anything other than a paperweight? You know, if you need a replacement screen for that, I actually have them. I have new ones. I'm not kidding. If you go onto our website, you will see that on store.rossmanngroup.com you can buy a B154PW01 for that. And they're original in AU Optronics boxes. Never used.
My cousin is in NYC Fashion Week. He's going to be at one of the...
Oh, cool.
But what's your favorite
ruined
sandwich?
your camera? Man, you got a cousin that's going to be on the catwalk and you ruined your camera.
I don't know. My favorite sandwich is the burrito that used to be made at Lucha
That's
Lucha.
a fail.
The giant burrito, but without the steak. Oh, but that place is out of business. Martin DeVos gave $2.79. Thank you very much. Thanks for all the work you do for independent repair shops. You have helped me and others so much. Thank you very much to Robert Smith. Come to Ireland. We've got good potatoes and beers. That's a long way away, though. That's a long swim. I don't know if my Bafang has enough battery life to make it across the Atlantic just yet. Looking for a reliable USB-C hub for my MacBook Pro. Any particular brands you'd recommend or avoid? Paul, what USB hub do you use for the new MacBook Pros? The USB-C hub. What's good?
Whatever this one is has been pretty good. Completely no-name brand.
Yep, we have a completely no-name brand, and I have no idea what it is.
Not a single marking anywhere on it.
Fail. I could look it up on Amazon. See if I... Orhan does smell like a... Thanks for all the work you do for... You're gonna pass out trying to smelling all that cologne. He's European. What do you expect? He's Eastern European.
I don't make noise in like
If I hear
30 seconds.
If I hear you thud in there.
He's Eastern European. Of course he smells like a chemical compound. Oh my god. How much fucking cologne did he use? Here, let me see. I'm gonna get you a link to this thing. I'm gonna find it.
He used a Lewis
Or
amount
not.
of flux.
I probably won't. Come to Ireland. We got potatoes and beers. Thank you. I may not be able to find it because I'm probably gonna get overrun with messages before I do. No. Oh no. I'll link it in the chat if I can. I promise. So what are we using? It's this. Ever planning to settle down? I'm settled. I'm sitting in a chair after all. It's not like I'm at war. Dan Fernando gave $1. Thank you. Alright, dongle. Bam. That's my dongle. What do you think of Square Space? I've never tried it. You're live in both channels. Yeah, Restream doesn't tell me which channel it is. Restream is really bad when it comes to trying to tell which channel you're streaming to. I shouldn't complain with how cheap it is. It's a few bucks a month. But it has dot. It doesn't tell me which channel it is, so I just hit both. I think Steve is on the phone with the Karen. Lewis, can I open a franchise of your store in Michigan? I'm not into the franchising thing in the moment because I don't have a way to tell if you're going to live up to the standard yet. We don't have a way... the only place I'd be comfortable calling a franchise almost would be Tim Herman at TCRS. That's probably one of the only businesses that I would do that with, that I know of. I have to pay to have my question answered. Apparently not, since I just read your post. What's his Instagram? I don't have an Instagram. I deleted it a long time ago. Would you recommend coating a new MacBook Pro board with conformal coating to save it from future water damage? No, that's a waste of time. Because then you have to do the same thing to your keyboard, which is impossible. All the cables go into trackpad, this, that, and the other.
I would recommend certain areas of certain MacBooks.
Rip off your JTech.
Yeah.
Money where my mouth is, £20 to help you with that new premises, but you need to ask most people to cough up. Most people, I believe, respect what you do and want to see you in the new premises. Respect. Thank you very much to Duncan Gray. I highly appreciate it. That's very nice of you. Lewis, you're live in both channels at the same time. Crap, and I only have chat up on the main channel, so I'm not reading the stuff on the other channel. Oh, well. Yeah, this is what my let me see if I can show you my Restream Dashboard. So my Restream Dashboard looks like this. Let me see if I'm going to have time to show you this. Alright, so display capture, anything on the screen I don't want you to see, no. Alright, display, look at this. YouTube stream now, YouTube stream now. Which one's my live channel, which one's my main channel? How are you going to tell? Because it's not labeled. For Twitch it labels it, but with YouTube it doesn't, so there's no way for me to tell what I'm streaming to, so I just said screw it and I check both. Please restock your Clinton shirts large. I've been thinking about it, I really have. It's just it took me 3.5 years to, and I'm still not even done with the ones that I first bought, so I just don't know if I'm excited
If
about
we
it.
restock them, we're going to wind up changing the design a bit because it doesn't have our logo on it. So I'm going to put our logo on a new shirt with the same stuff that's on there.
Okay, so now the BST 863 hot air rework station. Wow, Paul, somebody knocked off the quick.
Somebody knocked off the quick.
Wow, I can taste it alone. Do we have these cans?
Can I sing I Miss You by Blink 182? Sure you can, as long as I'm not in the room.
So maybe it would be a use for just replace it.
Yes.
This has a touchscreen instead of buttons.
Is that the 8 or 16?
Wow. Paul, this is a touchscreen. Check it out. It's a quick knockoff, it looks like. Look at this. Look, touchscreen. It's a boost. It's the best. Do you think this is any good? Bonsoir. I should try this thing out. Quick is a royal pain in the dick to order from, honestly. It's really fucking hard to order from them. I'll email them and I'll say, hey, how's it going? So, we would like to buy 30 of this, 20 of that. Do you have it? Or 100 of this, 20 of that. Or 200 of this, 5 of that. Sure, we'll get back to you. 1 week later, not gotten back to me. Hey, can you check? And they'll CC the person that works at the warehouse and go, hey, can you please email Lewis and see if we have this? A week passes. Still haven't heard from them. Hey, can you email me back? And then they'll yell at their employees, and their employees will tell me what they have, and then I'll go, okay, do you have the price for it? Then I'll email the main person. Do you know where that is? From Malta. Is that a drink or something? Thank you for the 2 Maltas, I suppose. And then I'll say, okay, so, what's the price? And they'll go, okay, well, I'm sorry. Let me have her email you the price. Please email Lewis the price. And then now, if I email them every single day, even if I do it every single day rather than, wait a week, it still winds up taking 2 to 3 weeks to place an order with them. It's a fucking nightmare. So I don't have a great sense of loyalty to them. So if this is better, I will definitely check it out. It just... Can I buy tools at the store or are they just online? You can absolutely buy tools in the store. You just got to go to the store, the website, choose local pickup when you buy. I haven't really set up Magento with the POS system yet just because it makes up a very small number of the business, as Apple would say, a very small number. A very small percentage. A very small number. By the way, everybody, this is Orhan. This not a handsome man right here? Look at this polo shirt, fucking cologne everywhere.
I can taste it.
I can fucking taste that cologne. What the hell? Orhan, you don't bathe in it.
Thank you, I can't fucking bring it.
It's worse back here.
Thanks for the years of
He put it
entertainment,
on in
Lewis.
the bathroom.
What the hell, Orhan? That's
The flavor's showing up in my mouth.
Repair shop stripped 2 of my MacBook screws. When I came back to have them fix it, I heard them using an electric screwdriver. Opinion on this? I don't use electric screwdrivers. I use I don't think it's going to save me time. But when I do strip a screw, I'll use an Xlite 175M to get it out, and it looks like this. I don't have much time to show you because it's going to be another message for Clinton's Greenies. Thank you very much. So you grab the screw with something like this, something like an Xlite 175M. You do that, and then you'll actually be able to get under the screw and turn it. You could turn even tiny screws with an X-Lite 175M. A lot of people are going to say use a Dremel from the top or Dremel the screw out. The reason I don't like the idea of dremeling is what if you slip, you could drill a hole through the board, you could knock off components. With this, you're not going up and down, you're going left and right. So you're not as likely to stab something in the board. And if you're very careless, the way that I am very careless, then you're going to benefit from using this over a Dremel. How soon before you move into the new store? I don't know. I have to sign a lease. A big part of it is going to be signing a lease. So I need to, get an agreement made that is to my liking. If the agreement that I get is not to my liking, I have to negotiate it. If there's no negotiating it, then I got to find more spaces. This process takes time. It took me 6 months to find the store that I have now. It's, I'm not making that up when I said it was 6 months of walking up and down the street to find the space. And I do expect it to take that much time because I'm not looking for the first place that I see. If I went for the first place I saw, I think I answered that one already. Thank you very much for the $5, Jared. If I go for the first place that I see, then I'm going to wind up taking some $18,000, 900 square foot rubbish, and I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that I take a space that makes sense. The space is $10,000 a month, not $10,000 a week. $10,000 a week would be for the Soho space, but that space was already taken. They have others in the area, but they were saying that can go up to $50,000 and $60,000. I'm not. Fuck that. Slacker cast funded $2. Thank you. $50,000 to $60,000 a month. That space is designed to be empty. It says mute. Okay, one moment. Can you show the sign? Yeah, my assistant is walking up to me with the word mute. One moment. Just make sure that you document everything that they're not doing so that when I wind up filing a lawsuit against them, I can actually get back my $2,000. So every single time you send a message saying, you haven't done this for 4 hours, I want to be able to show that we have a half hour to 1 hour SLA and they've been ignoring it. So just I've been making pictures of it and emailing it to myself. Just email yourself a picture. I'll get a copy of it. Just say, this is the time, these are the tickets, these is how many that you've ignored.
Okay.
All right. Lewis, have you been able to... Oh, yeah, somebody said that station is shit. Robert Smith said the station is shit. How do I know that Robert Smith is not a quick shill, though? Have you been able to get those 35 HDB connectors for the Touch Bar MacBook Pro screens yet? Do you plan on selling them on your website? Yeah, we got the Touch Bar MacBook Pro screen connectors on the website, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I need to get a better PR department. I don't think I'm good. I'm not good at shilling my stuff. I love the place you went to see, the X Bar, and stick it to Apple to keep the good work. Thank you very much for the £5, Mark. Yeah, I think that's on the homepage of my website right now. If you check out store.rossmanngroup.com, we've got the charging port FPC, and we've also got the LCD connector. They were a bit more than I thought that they were going to be, and we had to buy a lot of them. But, yeah, we have it. LCD connector, bam. There's been... yeah, we have that. It's just my PR department sucks, so I don't have a PR department. I just show things on stream. Do you buy used Macs? Nope. Tom Waller funded €2. Thank you very much. Paul, let me fix your truck air conditioner, says Andre A. Somebody wants to fix your truck's air conditioning.
That's a job. You're a mechanic?
It's Andre A. I mean, listen, somebody came here and fixed my bike brakes. I'm sure you could... They did a good job. Wouldn't you trust them with your truck?
The bike brakes that I had to fix the next day?
What? No, those were fine.
Oh, no, wait, that was the other bike.
No, that was the other jackass. No, not the one that came from
what
YouTube.
He did, and yeah.
Yeah. The guy from YouTube was awesome. Not a pro, but I did monitor joyful replacement on a MacBook Air 2014 A14666. Now no power on or dong. Replaced I/O board and I/O flex cable, and now charge it, but no boot or dong. So somebody replaced the monitor, and now it doesn't dong.
What?
They replaced the screen on an A1466, and now it doesn't dong. And I took their €10, which means that, or pounds, which means you need to answer. Paul, the camera's gonna find you. Paul? Paul, stop going into the bathroom, Paul. Love the channel, thoughts on Microsoft devices. If you like Windows, I don't have a problem with that, but the Surface devices they're not my cup of tea. I'll leave it at that. What the hell is this? What is that?
Focus, you fuck.
What the hell is that? Uh-oh.
That was probably
My chair is stuck again. Piece of shit. Hey, bro.
Thoughts on Microsoft devices? I have a Windows phone. I love my Windows phone.
Paul loves his Windows phone.
I'm going to be very, very sore when I have to give it
Jingle
up.
bells, jingle all the way. Jingle bells indeed, Andy H. Oh, no, seriously, no chime after screen replacement. Look at his face. Like, Paul, can you at least explain, if not what it is, why it is that you're running into the bathroom in fear and why I'm laughing at that question?
No chime after screen replacement. It's dead.
Well, what's dead and why?
What's dead and why? Did you disconnect the battery before you plugged the screen in? Took the screen out?
Any updates in the missing mail? Yeah, everything was found. Hi is here. Hi has to finish the AASP video that we did. No boot or dong, bro. When you getting those not safe for work MacBooks? No, not safe for work MacBooks. I pay $1,300 a month, Lewis. Come on down to Kentucky. Chris Long lives in the home of Mitch McConnell. Not a pro, but I did a monitor assembly. Oh, assembly. It actually thought the word assembly was a curse, and it censored it.
What? Really?
Yeah, that's going to be a dead CPU. That's why we're looking at you that way. Which I don't really have much to say about that. And are you sure that it's now charges with still no boot or no dong? Which headlights to use for your mid-drive? I use some Cree LEDs from eBay, and if I go to find them, the problem is going to be that when I go to find them, there's going to be 10 more questions that I miss. So Tom Waller gave £2. Yeah, can you go on explaining the CPU dead thing, Paul, while I look for these Cree LEDs? Why is not chiming such a miserable thing to try and solve?
The fan is spinning and it's not chiming?
Your sister turns out to be a lesbian and is in a relationship with me, says Koyo? What the fuck?
That's as bad as trying to figure out why this 1398 is hanging on boot.
Yeah, the reality is most likely dead CPU or something. Or some random trace or via or is cracked inside the board itself. You're not going to figure that out easily.
It's not going to show itself.
Hi, Paul, says hi. Yeah, it's not a problem that you're going to be able to see. Bless you. It's not something you're going to be able to measure. On the older ones, I would say your problem, if it was an 820 or 3209, would be R7402, the V-Core, and it's impossible to keep up with this. Question, did you get the bar with the roaches or make a deal with them yet? No. See about 5 minutes into the video. Thank you so much. 9 for the $9.99. I am working on it. TLDR, they want more deposit and personal guarantee than I'm cool with. And there's also, I have to actually wait to read the lease because I haven't actually gotten the lease to read it. I'm looking for this Cree LED light on eBay, and I cannot find it. Cree LED motorcycle?
What headlight?
Headlight? I put it headlight?
No, for which?
The one that I bought. The one that I'm using. Do you have any advice for people who want to do things like game dev, YouTube, or repair things? Repair things, find stuff that's broken, and find a niche that's not being filled well by people in your area, and get to work. For game development, I have no idea. I can barely add a script to my own Magento website. For YouTube, make stuff that people think is worth watching, really. That's what it's going to come down to there. You have to be make something that you would want to watch, or that some other people that would want to watch. Yeah, I feel bad. I don't have much answer for the dude with the €10, but honestly, even if you gave me $200, I'd still be giving it back to you and saying sorry. There's not much I can do. Because if it was the older one, it would be the CPU. It would be that TON, the time on resistor by the buck converter. But on that one, it's not it. Okay, I'm looking for that Cree light that I bought, and I can't find it at all anywhere. I'd have to go through my purchase history, and my purchase history is really an absolute mess on eBay because there's so much crap in here. Get the F out of my sleepy time, says Fabo.
I'll find it.
Did you catch my R2 repair interview, says Aaron? I have not. Your channel has taught me a lot. about techniques for business and fixing my very old computers and new electronics. Keep it up. Thank you very much. Let's see. The Restream has a Restream chat that has all your stream chats in one place, each person talking as the logo of the stream. Yeah, the thing is the Restream chat, it makes it harder to differentiate people. It's not as good an interface. Have you ever received a donation via Dogecoin? Somebody donated 1,337 Dogecoins a while back. Nathan Levang funded $2. Thank you.
I have a question for you, Paul. If I have a BB bus short to ground, right? If this cube gets really freaking hot, that means a 1v8 line that supplies RAM is the MOSFET that on the buffer is probably messed up too.
You're the man and inspiration for all. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah.
Okay, so that guy's probably out, so does that mean that RAM to 12 volts to the face?
Possibly.
So,
Probably.
There are two more fake quicks,
But
861D
you
and
can also follow
761D.
this back to something else too.
Is your
I
e-bike
had this
modded?
problem on a
The bike is
Yeah,
modded
but
to be
this
an
doesn't
e-bike.
get hot
Dogecoin is the
if,
future.
the
Indeed.
RAM chip itself is 100
But
degrees.
if you follow this back to where this is created, because this is created from another line. It's created from a 5 volt, not a 12 volt. And I think the 5 volt is also shorted too, or something like that.
Oh, so there's multiple shorts
Yeah,
that.
it's multiple layers on that line. I've
Will you
done
making
this line
videos
before.
of getting the new place
Okay.
and decorating? Here's
So-
£5 for
Keep
Hello
following
Kitty
the power
wallpaper.
back.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Love what you do. Oh, will you be making videos of the new place and decorating? Maybe. Maybe. If we get it. But that's a big if. Have you considered something like Crowdcube? What's Crowdcube? Love what you do. Please continue looking for more space. Safe hours. I can't imagine Apple not sending some goon watching your stream to take you out riding your bike. Oh, come on. The world is not that bad. The world is not that bad just yet. In case this one falls through. What's your best Australian impersonation? Hi! What sort of mount do you use for your phone on your bike? I tried the plastic ones, but I've broken so many of them by now because every time I turn my bike upside down, since I don't have a bike holder, it winds up being held on the phone and I forget about it. So whatever metal one is on Amazon. I want to get a new one that reaches up a little bit because if I get the hold, because most of the holders, like this is the handlebar and they just do this and they come out. And then, so if I want to have a stream, let's say I want to have the stream like this and then I turn the phone, you can't see it in landscape. So I want to get one that points up and goes out. So this way I can use the phone to stream because I'm about to run out of mobile hotspot. And once I run out of mobile hotspot, I won't be able to use the GoPro on the bike anymore. Today at the bank, an old lady asked me to help her check her balance, so I pushed her over. What an evil bastard. Did you read that one? Today at the bank, an old lady asked me to help her check her balance, so I pushed her over. You sick fuck. The 40 amps on the air horn. Is that the fuse rating or the fuse the package says to use? Because that's only 480 watts at 12 volts. With a 52 volt Bafang battery, it will be less than 10 amps. Air horn life will be shortened, but it only used to work 10 seconds at a time. Will you be making videos of getting the new place and decorating? Here's £5 for you. Well, that's the thing. We tried using it with our power supply, which does 20 volts at 10 amps, and it fucked his power supply all to hell and back. So Paul's power supply does 20 volts at 10 amps. It's this HP. It's HP Agilent 6542A, and 200 watts was not enough for that air horn. So I'm kind of curious.
Here's your headlights in chat.
Headlights? Okay, Paul just posted the headlights in chat. What's your best Australian impersonation? Hi, this is Dave Jones. I can't do it. I'm losing my voice.
Crikey.
Crikey! What kind of rubbish is that microphone? It's not even an electric capsule. No, my impression is shit today. I had a good, better one 3 years ago. Fuck. I'm just gonna break the chair and steal yours. Go away with your damn question. It's. Are you still accepting crypto as tips? Sure, why not? There's a list down below. I am nothing if not a shill. Especially when a new store is going to cost about $120,000 to put together. We've got this, and we've got this, and we've got this. It's all in that description down below. I am nothing if not a shill, especially after hearing my bank say we have no interest in giving more than 2 weeks of payroll. Damn you making YouTube videos that may actually help your competition. Love what you do. Continue looking for more space at safe hours. Apple's not going to send people to hurt me. What the hell kind of world do you think we're living in? What kind of world do you think we're living in? Crowdcube is a crowdsourced investment firm out of the UK, funded in 2011. Crowdcube. Let's see what Crowdcube is. Do you partake in the inhalation of THC? I've never tried it, which is strange because at several of the recording studios I used to work at as a tech, everybody was smoking all the time, and I think that's what made me not do it. Let's see. Investment opportunities. Raising. What does this work? We're fanatical about supporting passionate founders and their teams. What does that mean? What does this mean? How does this work? Bringing the wonderful to life. Converting your community. Fueling long-term growth. Like, what does it mean? What are the terms? How does the money come through? Ah, what a useless website. I'll check this out later, but their website seems to be some typical startup rubbish. Apple seems like the company whose employees say cha-cha-cha during the birthday song. I'm 16. Thank you very much for the $1. And I run my own repair business. I'm in verified third-party repair in your Discord. You inspired me to start my own business last year. Thank you, says Harrison T. Brown with £5. Thank you very much, Harrison. I wish you the best of luck. How would you describe your mental health state? And do you think your feelings are properly accounted and looked for? Love from Germany, says Sharon A. What is the price range for fixing a 2008-2010 MacBook Pro with non-functioning keyboard? Usually $175. It's a pain in the ass because there's a lot of you have to take everything out of the case and there's like 100 screws holding it in. But I think $175. Mental health. I think my mental health is as lovely now as it's ever been. I don't know. I grew up in a strange environment, so I'm not quite sure that I was ever I ever rebounded from it. So now I'm just kind of used to. Well, how do I put this? I've figured out how to cope with being nuts. Tell Paul that he's a cutie, says Nathan Levang with a happy face grinning emoticon. Paul, another man in chat called you a cutie with a happy emoticon. How do you feel about that? Alright. Yeah. Alright, there's that. So, my girlfriend spilled water a year ago in her A1465. Can it still be repaired? And what's the max time you can wait and still repair? There is no such thing, really. It's like saying, what's the max time you can live after you get diagnosed with cancer? Where is the cancer? Where are the cells? What is your overall health? How did it spread? Probably going to have to give up on it then, says Steve Bell for £2. Give up on what? I'm confused. Have you tried Pace soldering equipment? It's made in the U.S. I'm very happy with my soldering station. Oh, I don't give a crap about that. Here's what pisses me off about that made in the U.S. thing. Pace hot air station. Let's take a look at this, right? Alright, check this out. $1,200.51 for this thing. It has a knob. That's it. Like one knob. It's just, it's... Damn it. I missed something. What I had in mind is, what would you suggest to people who can't decide which things they want to do because they like them equally as much? If you like two different things equally and you can't decide what to do, look and figure out which one people actually need. Which one do you actually need? I mean, which one do people actually need? What do people want to pay more for? But yeah, the pace thing, like, this is actually less powerful than a quick. That's the thing that I don't think a lot of people understand when it comes to this station. So this station says 575 watt. I bought some shoes from a drug dealer. I don't know why he laced them with, but I've been tripping all day. You're copying and pasting these from a website. Blackberry said, please explain doggo. I'm disappointed. What doggy, Blackberry? I would never pay attention to another animal but you. You're the only animal I love. Look at this. Look at this horse shit. 575 watts max. This pace station is half as powerful as the quick. It costs 5-6 times as much money. When you no 5 times because we're talking retail here. This thing is 4 to 5 times the amount of money that the Quick is. Hope you find your new place. Thank you very much. And it's half as fucking powerful, and it's less featured. This is analog. This is a joke. You know, I'm sure it lasts. I'm sure the station lasts. And for $1,200 at better, because wholesale, I could probably buy 5 or 6 Quicks for that price. Would I rather have 5 Quicks or 1 Pace? 5 Quicks. Like, I don't care. It's made in the USA. That's great. I'm gonna pat you. You know, if you want to get paid twice as much because it's made in the US, even 3 times as much because it's made in the US, that's great. You want 5 to 6 times as much, less features and less power? No, I'm not patting you on the head anymore because it says "Made in America." Like, there's a difference between being patriotic and bending me over. 2 questions. If my solder has 2% flux, do I still need to use flux when I solder? Do you or have you ever owned Apple stock? I think I owned Apple stock very shortly in 2007. I'm not sure what percentage I have in my flux, and 3 new questions came in, so when I take my solder out of my spindle, I'm probably going to knock over the camcorder and miss 3 questions, so I can't find it. I would still buy some flux anyway, because as I've said many times before, there is never such thing as too much flux. Hope you find your new place. Thank you. I've been loving your story, take on stuff videos recently. The one about luck was a very cool take. Keep on being awesome. And hey, Paul, says Dan. Crowdcube is a crowdsourced investment firm out of the UK founded in 2011. Let us loan you monies, please. Yeah, that's the thing. I want to check out terms on their site, but the site seems to be written in PR speak, marketing rubbish. But I will check it out later. Again, it's just something where when your site is written in PR speak, marketing rubbish, I have to translate from PR speak, marketing rubbish into actual words that mean something, and that takes time. So I can't do that on stream. I'm more than happy to read about Crowdcube. I just got to do it on my own time because their website is not designed to be looked at a glance. It's designed to be, just have a bunch of positive terms there and hope that somebody clicks. My boss told me to have a good day, so I went home. You're copying and pasting these. Upgrade to a SegWit Bitcoin address. More stuff on the chores list. Have you considered expanding hours in current small space, training up new employees after hours in preparation of larger space? You know, it's really hard to find people who are willing to do this type of work as is. It's honestly hard to find somebody who's not just willing to do it, but really good at it. Finding somebody who's good at it and willing to do it, who's willing to do it, the 8 to 4 shift or the 4 to 12 shift, that's going to be difficult. That one I think I just answered, so not that one. Buy our BPA-free bottles with Mr. Clinton on them. Indeed. This is a BPA-free water bottle featuring Clinton the cat. bit.ly/buy a bottle. If they got Epstein, I see no reason why Apple wouldn't try to get you. Epstein committed suicide. That's what MSNBC and Fox told me. Sharon says, Lewis, how would you describe your mental health state? And do you think your feelings are properly accounted for and looked for? Properly accounted and looked for... Yeah, I don't know how to judge that. How do you account for a feeling? How do you look at a feeling? I don't know how to answer that. I appreciate the 10 pounds, I really do. But how do you look at a feeling? How do I account for a feeling? I went to a therapist in the past, but like a long time ago. But what they wind up doing is looking at you and going, and how does that make you feel? And what do you think of that? And how did that make you feel? So when you say this, how did that make you feel? And it's like, I can have that conversation with my cat, you know? At least my cat is cute. And cheaper. Who is your biggest inspiration today? Roy Hendrickson, the chief engineer and chief tech at Avatar Studios, by far. Roy Hendrickson. Greatest and... Who else? Roy Hendrickson. Duco from the Netherlands that I talked about in the 2 thank you videos. Would you rather be famous or infamous? Infamous. Thank you for the $2, JP. I would rather less people know who I am than more people know who I am. It's strange that I wound up being successful at this. I just want to say I've been loving your story take on videos recently. The one about luck was a cool take. Thank you. And also, hey, Paul, he said. Does it feel good to still be young? I wouldn't know. I'm old. I'm ancient. Chucked you 20 pounds earlier, but didn't realize you were streaming at the time. Was putting my money where my mouth is in response to my own reply to my own message. Can you Even the current situation of the property you looked at, the one with the bar. Thank you very much for the 2466, Duncan. So that place is a pretty good likelihood. I think I may have seemed a little too eager when I went there because they seem comfortable with potentially asking me for a 4-month deposit and definitely asking me for a personal guarantee. Personal guarantee because companies every now and then go bankrupt. The ability to go after the assets of one individual if a company dies, I get that. But that plus 4-month deposit seems stretching it. I don't know. Well, we'll see. There's much to negotiate. But again, I have to have a lease in my hands to actually sign first before we can even begin negotiating, and I don't have a lease yet, so there's not really much to say there. He called me. He said, all the documentation you submitted looks absolutely great. We'd be interested in having you as a tenant. We will send you a lease and go from there. But I have not received a lease yet, so you never know. You can't actually do much until you get a lease. And if that doesn't work, then I'm simply going to find... if that doesn't work, I'm just going to keep looking for other places. Can you not buy a place versus leasing? Absolutely, you can buy a place. I mean, yeah. It's pretty easy to buy a place. You just got to, you do is you go to your friends, like I talk about in that F-word video, and you say, hey, friend, how's it going? Hey.
What?
Can I have $14 million? I'll give it back to you next month.
Oh, Bill
Hi,
Gates.
Paul. Hey, Paul. How's it going?
No.
Steve, how are you, my friend?
Good. I'm trying to take a shit here, but...
Can you take a shit after loaning me $26 million so that I can purchase a building rather than rent?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. So it looks like we don't need to rent anymore because I found somebody willing to give me $26 million to buy a building in Manhattan. You do a great lecture series, TED Talks, etc. Right to repair is important. Needs you as a leader. Thank you very much for the $4.99. Hey, Lewis, I started my own repair business here as a 13-year-old, and I've been able to repair many iPhones and MacBooks thanks to your great tutorials. I started with nothing and worked up from there. You ruined every stream. That's awesome. I'm really happy to hear that. The thing is, it's going to get easier as you get older. All the best and keep with the good work. Yeah, I have TeamViewer access to Jess's computer. I could probably just send myself via PayPal $14 million.
Yeah, she'll
She'll never even notice.
No.
Wow, I didn't think of this. I could just wire myself the money from Jess's bank account. She's probably not watching the stream, so she won't know about the TeamView in. $14 million is like 2 months of the course for her? Any reason for 4-month deposit on a new space versus 3 months? They credit history stuff. How much did the floor cost you? This one, I forget. I love your channel. My favorite and most impactful video you've done is the true F word and why you hate it. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Can't copy and paste on mobile. Gonna get some Bitcoin to you when I'm in the office tomorrow. BTC Moon, says Eric Marker. Thank you very much for the $5. LMAO, Verge got 51% attacked. What is your go-to MacBook year and model? My go-to MacBook is the Lenovo ThinkPad P50. I don't use a MacBook. I have a video titled MacBook Buyer's Guide from the beginning of June. Watch that. It's a 20-minute long video where I make the argument for what MacBooks you should buy, what MacBooks you shouldn't buy, and frankly the fact that you just shouldn't be buying a MacBook to begin with. But if you do want to buy a MacBook, check out that video. It's 20 minutes long. I go through all the different years, the ones I recommend, and why I recommend those specific years so that you have an idea of why my opinion is what it is. Good luck with your new place. If you get it, have you thought about having a workstation which constantly streams? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot I could do with that space if I could set things up properly. One of the things here is it's so small, it's impossible to set up everything properly because it's just so claustrophobic all the time. It would be really cool to have a place where we start from scratch, we do everything right from scratch, there's the actual resources there to do stuff from scratch, because I built this place out when I had no money at all, and I did everything like little piece by piece, and no, it's just not the way it's... Especially when I didn't have a proper plan. Do you have merchandise we can buy if you're okay with fan visits at the store? Sure, you're welcome to visit the store. Paul would be happy to make your acquaintance, and we do have water bottles, flux, and other things that you can buy. Look at that. Smile. Smile.
Hi.
Smile. Good.
Hi.
Heretic shall be cleansed, funded.
No, Lewis.
If you obtain the $10,000 spot, will you hire someone to make you burritos instead as a kitchen? Yeah, I would be open to reopening Lucha Lucha. How do you kill a circus? Go for the jugglers. Oh, for fuck's sake. Where is all this cheesy humor coming from? If you obtain it... I don't think I'm going to keep that kitchen. No. It would be nice to keep that kitchen and turn it into a burrito place. Can you make a burrito?
Yes.
You seriously?
Right now?
I mean, if we get the new space and we keep the kitchen?
Yeah. What do you want it?
I want a burrito space.
I can make a burrito.
What is your advice for asking someone out? I have none.
Oh.
Hannah. Your advice for asking someone out.
If you have to ask, you probably shouldn't ask them out.
That's Hannah, everyone. Don't... Well, here's the thing. I see this as a win-win when you ask somebody out, if you're not sure what to do. If they say no, then you know you shouldn't have wasted your time on them anyway. If they say yes, then you have a date that's going to like you for who you are. Because if you have to think about it too much, then you're probably asking somebody out who's not going to like you for who you are, which means your relationship is going to be miserable. What is your favorite book? I like Start With No by Jim Camp. I think it's a pretty good book. It's not just about negotiating. I think it can be applied to many aspects of life. I missed your answer. Is it normal for a 4-month lease deposit? Some people want 5 months, 6 months, 7 months. It's just... I'm being a customer here, but it said 3 to 6 months in that thing. If I tell a customer that it's going to cost between $200 to $300, and I say and then the price comes out to $201, they're mad at me. They're genuinely mad at me. So I'm being a customer, but people have been being customers to me for the past 11 years. So now it's my turn. What do you think about Neuralink? I don't know much about it, if anything. Do you have an opinion on AMD versus Intel CPUs? I am on Team AMD. For a long time they sucked, and now they don't. So, yeah. Anything that gets me away from management engine rubbish is good by me. Upgrade to a SegWit Bitcoin address. I will have to Google how to do that later. I know you got 12 employees, but I might be part of the team someday. I live in Brooklyn. Maybe. Give a personal... But add a stop-loss clause. Oh, give a personal guarantee, but add a stop-loss clause. Okay, I'm open for that. Yeah, we can look at that. But again, personal guarantee, 4 months is... nah. Throw up a GoFundMe as a hospital for damaged and broken MacBooks. Glenn Nash says that Paul is a cutie. Why do people keep saying that Paul is a cutie? He's not going to sit here anymore when I do these streams. Tips when replacing an A1398 keyboard. Yeah, I use this to rip out all the rivets. So this thing, keep in mind, I haven't done a Retina keyboard in like 5 years. Thank God I have employees. But you're going to grab these, get a good grab on it. Don't squeeze too hard, but pull up hard. See, because if you don't get the rivet out, then it's stuck in there and the keyboard's not going to sit right. So they don't use screws in the MacBook keyboards anymore. They use rivets. And the rivets don't often want to come out. And if the rivet doesn't come out when you pull it, it's going to be stuck in the case, broken off, and then you're never going to be able to fit a screw in there. What is the meme value of the place with the bar? Not high in terms of meme value. It's good real value as a store, but it has no meme value. So the Apple store is on 9th Avenue and 14th Street. This store is on 4th Street and Avenue B, which is, it's Avenue B is after, so it's 1st Avenue, then Avenue A, then B. So it's on Avenue -1 and 4th Street. The Apple store is on 9th Avenue and 14th Street. So it's far from the Apple store, so it doesn't have any meme value in that regard. Can you not buy a place versus leasing?
No.
I would need an additional 14 million. I would have to buy thousands of Bitcoin back before it was worth anything.
Yo.
I'm a troubleshooter by nature, and you have been a great, albeit sarcastic role model. Just letting you know. Thank you very much to Master Megabyte for the $5. I appreciate that. JP says that he feels uncomfortable. Outseeker says that Paul is a paid actor. Paul is actually a paid actor.
I guess I am.
He is paid, and on every now and then he does act. Good luck getting a new place from a fan, VGNY. I want to send Paul into an Apple store undercover and have him ask for a schematic and MDS sheets. What is it?
MSDS.
MSDS
I want
sheet?
the MSDS for the thermal paste used in the MacBook Pro. I want to know what's in the thermal paste in my MacBook Pro. I need the MSDS for it.
Yeah, it would be fun to send Paul into an Apple store and have him go full customer on them. I missed your answer. Is it normal for a 4-month lease deposit? Depends on the space. You're seriously one of the most amazing people I found on the internet. Oh, you got to find some other people. Your videos about pedo something, and your knowledge about people's behavior is something I look up to. Thank you, Aaron. I'm gonna have to learn how, with that. Sharon, I'm gonna have to learn how to say that. Pedagogy. 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 Your videos on pedagogy and your knowledge about people's behavior is something I look up to. Look at that. Now I can speak at a 6th grade level. Well, thank you very much, Sharon. I really appreciate that. And thank you very much for watching. Greetings from Finland. I hope you get to make a deal with the last place you visited if you're fine with it. Me too. I hope for the same thing. What's the flux tube you use in your videos? It is Amtech NC559V2TF Flux, available on store.rossmanngroup.com.
Don't delay. Buy today.
Get the new space. I calculated it, and it would be about $9,000 for 5 gallons of flux. Let's make it happen. Can we put 5 gallons of flux into a container and use it to fix boards?
I'm thinking if we contact Amtech, it'll cost less than that to get a 5-gallon bucket of flux because they don't have to individually package it.
Yeah. Get the new space. Thank you.
We should check the MSDS
Learn to
for
use
the
flux with you. Start accepting Bitcoin. I use it as for tips, but I don't use it for the store because of the variability of cryptocurrency. It's too variable for me to use it. Like something that can be 3,000 now, 11,000 later is not something that I feel comfortable using as a currency for business that is going to be paying employees and rent and everything else. Got to be more stable. Why is it that every time I donate, you miss the question? But to repeat the question, what is your opinion on adoption, and would you have kids of your own? I don't believe that you have ever asked that question before. I'm fairly certain that this is the first time that I'm actually seeing that. I would rather have kids of my own than adopt. I know that there's people that would make me an asshole. I'd love to see you allow us to invest in your business. Any thoughts about doing that? I haven't really put a plan together yet. Yeah, so there's 2 things here. So one of the reasons that I miss questions is because 2 of them will show up at the same time, and because in the YouTube chat there's about 90 messages a minute. Come on, like that's got to be obvious. But mainly, yeah, that has not popped up. Knowing that you do not like MacBooks. Thank you very much for the $2. I'd rather have kids of my own, really. There's just a difference in the I think I would invest in it differently if I knew that it was me. And it's also I'd like to see what my genetic material would do, or what I would be like if I got to grow up in a proper household. Like no screaming, no nonsense, no mental illness, lunacy, no constant screaming over random shit. I'd like to see because it's just the kind of question I'd want to answer. Like, what would I be like if I grew up in an entirely different environment? So I'd like to see what happens if you have is it Apple in general you dislike, or just the MacBook? It's how they treat their customers. It's really, it's not even the Apple that I dislike, it's how they treat their customers. How Apple treats their customers just makes me sick. How they treat repair shops make me sick. It's not Apple as a whole, it's just simply that their treatment of their customers and their treatment of independent repair. I wouldn't care so much about their treatment of independent repair if their treatment of their own customers were better, because independent repair would then not be necessary. But since they treat their customers so poorly, independent repair is necessary, and the fact that they treat both of them pretty poorly is lame. What do sea monsters eat? Fish and chips. You copied and pasted that from somewhere, but thank you for the $1. Yeah, I'm kind of curious what it is I'd be able to do if I was raised in a different environment. So I'd definitely be more interested in having my own biological kids. I know that makes me an asshole because there's a lot of kids out there that need to be adopted. But I'll live with being an asshole on that front. Learn to use Flux with you. I'm glad you learned how to use Flux. How to make holy water. Boil the hell out of it. Oh god, now more people are copying and pasting. You're all getting this stuff from the same website. Some geo-shitties thing, isn't it? Thank you for the £2, Josh Mulgrew. How much time would you ask for to fix the 2007 MacBook Pro that needs its GPU reattached? Your GPU does not need to be reattached. Your GPU needs to be taken off, removed, trashed, and then replaced with a good one, which doesn't exist. So there's nothing I'd be able to do for you. I don't have a solution for your problem. You've likely fell for the internet myth that the problem is the solder connection rather than the HAKKO chip that's died. I have a chip on reball. Look on YouTube for my video, Reballing a Dead Horse. Reballing a Dead Horse. I explain everything. What happened to that place by the Apple Store? Avoided. The place by the Apple Store, A, was already rented. They were lazy and didn't take down the sign. B, went for over $40,000. So, fuck that. I bet Dan has $40,000 a month he could loan me. Paul's selfish. He went ahead and got a house when he could have just been loaning me $40,000 a month. You shit.
If I paid $40,000 a month for my house, I'd be done before the year is out.
The Zcoin funded CHF2. Why not have your own children and adopt? That seems to be a lot of multitasking. After attempting for 5 hours to get this fence post to stand upright, I finally realized this is a shit post. Nothing tops a plain pizza. What? What? Loving the shop scouting videos. Did everything work out with the rustic looking one? I don't know. I literally looked at that place yesterday. Can you answer my last question? I don't know what your last question was, and since you asked me to answer your last question, which I don't know where to find, rather than actually posting your question, I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to do there. Lewis, I'm opening a repair shop in Glasgow, Scotland. Is there any advice you would give me on attracting customers and gaining trust? One of the ways I would attract customers is ask your existing customers what their concerns were when they went to go to a new place. So the concerns I found were, I pretended to be a customer and I called into other businesses. They would say, to get the screen replaced is $149, and when you showed up it's $199. They go, oh, you want us to do it? Then it's an extra $50. So customer concern is, love your life advice videos, Yorio. And thank you very much, the channel, for the £2. Was that, you know, you're going to change the price. So my website said the price you see is the price you pay, guaranteed. Call everybody else, it's going to be different, I guarantee it. The next thing is they said we'd have to order the screen, so it takes a week. So I had my website say not only is the price you see the price you pay, but it's always available. If you call me at 1 o'clock on a Wednesday, I'll be there at 1:30 on that Wednesday with that part, and I'll install it in 10 minutes. Anything we say that we do, we have the part in stock. So what I did is I made my website, and I made my sales pitch receptive, or what's the word I'm looking for? Responsive to the concerns and anxieties of my customer. Long time no see. I am 16. I run a store thanks to you, blah, blah, blah. I live in the UK and I was wondering if we could fly to New York and work at your store for a few months to train me up in board repair. Genuinely be something I'd be up for. Thanks again. If I have a new store, maybe. With this store, fuck no. I mean, just no. If somebody wants to go to the bathroom, Steve has to stop working on the drive that he's doing data recovery on to move to the side so that they can walk by and go to the bathroom. If I get a new store, we can talk about stuff like that, and I'd be open to it. But with the store that I have now, I barely fit in here. I'm going to go to the gym after this when I'm done, you know, use the rowing machine a little bit just so that I can slim up so that I can walk past people here. It was asked, sorry, 3K tone wasn't intentional. Yeah, it seems like Streamlabs is buggy. My bad, 3K tone. What repair tools equalizer should I buy starting out? The stuff that's in my links in the description down below. I listed just about everything down below, and I think if you take a look at those links, that you'll find all the stuff that's needed. Should I email our rep at Amtech for a 5-gallon drum of flux? Not yet. PlayStation or Xbox? If we're talking about 2002, when I actually cared about this stuff, PlayStation. If we're talking about modern days, I have no idea, because I haven't used that stuff in like 15 years. Whichever platform has Final Fantasy on it.
PC with giant RTX 2080.
Square and Enix. Whatever has Square and Enix making games for them. How much would you ask? I'm behind by 10 minutes. So many questions. So many questions. PlayStation or Xbox? PlayStation. Look for a store in New Jersey, rent is a lot cheaper. And lose most of my customers, that's not going to happen. What would I study at college to build enough to start doing PC repairs? What would I study? I'm not sure. I never got to the point of studying much in college. Because have you ever been... holy shit, so delayed, someone says. Linus Tech Tips just disrespected the track point. Your opinion. It's a good thing he's in Canada. For everyone in Scotland, Chebs. Thank you very much for the $1. Do you get decent sleep? Never.
Have you ever considered working on RF equipment? RF equipment is a completely different animal than anything else we work on. It requires a whole different knowledge and tool set. We would actually start using the oscilloscope that we have in the shop again. So it would be really different. And I don't think the price point is there.
I have a headache, Lewis. I hate it and I'm tired. It says store.Rossmann group. Oh, what the... I have a headache reading your comment.
Has anyone ever robbed your store? Check our video on our tip jar getting stolen.
Yes, our store has been robbed. Check out the tip jar video. What is a head and a tail, but no body? Says Justin for $2. Has anyone ever robbed your store? Love the videos. Yes, tip jar got stolen. Thank Kevin. An Uber driver seen you yesterday riding your bike. Was I cursing? Every time I see a TNC license plate, I curse. I'm curious. Thank you very much for the $3.99 showstopper. It wasn't even Linus dissing on the track point, it was one of his employees. Hadouken. Hadouken. Fuck you up. Nobody disses the track point. After attempting for hours to get this fence post to stand upright, I finally realized this is a shit post. Nothing tops a plain pizza. What? I know RF. I'm a broadcast engineer. Can I do this job? Kenny?
Can you change from RF to working on this stuff? Yeah.
Broadcast engineer this.
Well, broadcast, do you solder? Do you work on the boards in your broadcasting equipment? Most of the time, broadcast equipment, you just change out a pack out of a server bay or a rack bay. You're not actually working on that pack. If you actually worked on that board, then yeah, you could do this stuff.
What do you think about the upcoming iPhone? Says Rukshan Iqbal. Rukshan Iqbal. That's... Thinking about getting rid of my MacBook after multiple keyboard replacements and getting a ThinkPad, specifically 50-watt NB X210 or X310. I haven't used any of those. I like the P. I've really just stuck to the P series.
Yeah, if you got blocked from the chat, don't call the store over.
That's an excellent way to not get. That's an excellent way to not get added on.
So what?
Have you considered Paul ASMR stream for charity? Paul ASMR stream?
Hi, it's me.
Hi. It's me. Hi, Liz. If you're into reading besides manual schematics, look into the magic of thinking big. Good luck, good read, and I think you'll get much value from it. I will add that to my list. Thank you very much to Keith French. Why streaming to 2 channels at once? Because I don't know which channel is which. This is Restream. This is Restream's awful, awful interface. So look, I have Twitch, I have Vimeo, then look over here. It says YouTube stream now, and then YouTube stream now. How do you know which one it is? How do I know which one is the live channel and which one's the main channel? It's silly. It's impossible to tell. What do you think about the upcoming iPhone? I don't know anything about the upcoming iPhone. I don't use an iPhone. This may surprise a lot of you, but when they have that WWDC or Apple event or whatever, I don't actually stand in front of the Apple store in line to get the next iPhone. I'm sorry to disappoint all of you. Football season starts soon, says someone. And I missed it because it didn't stay on the screen long enough. Crap. Paul, do you stand in front of the Apple store when the new iPhone comes out?
That would be a no.
An Uber driver seen you yesterday riding your bike. Hopefully I didn't curse you out. Can you hack an iPhone? I'm kidding. Cheers from Brooklyn. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Moped, scooter, or modified bike, like your Bafang. Oh, modified bike by far. I prefer the bike to the scooter because I think that it gives you more options in terms of there's just navigating a lot of tricky situations. I'd rather be sitting down. I have a headache. I hate it and I'm tired, says somebody. Well then. What is a head and a tail but no body? I'm not sure. NPCs do not obey the exclamation point. They swipe the tip jar. I don't get it. Shut up. Boxers, briefs, or commando? Boxers. Are you a what? Are you a low-key camboy? Well, you figured it out. Yes, I am. Someone says, Lewis, you deserve to succeed. Have you thought about GoFundMe or something similar? Holy crap, somebody gave $1,000. I mean, $100, not $1,000. Shit, wow. That's more than I deserve. Am I a cam girl? Has anybody Rob? I am not a cam boy. Did I ever put those back? Yeah, I did. Love live streams from your space, stuff with tech equipment and the camera moves to Paul. Make it look like you're on the ISS. Alright. Alright. GoFundMe is worth a try. It got Fran Blanche into a new lab recently. Well, I'll look into that.
If the ISS looked anything like this, I would be very scared for those people.
If you were in a room with Hitler, Stalin, Trump, and Tim Cook and had a gun with 3 rounds, who would you shoot? Hitler, Stalin... Hitler first, Stalin again. And then I would shoot the bullet in a way that it goes through Stalin and Hitler at the same time. The overlay lag is kind of triggering. Oh well. I think I answered the scooter one. What are some red flags in lease agreements that would cause you to walk away or run? Anything saying that I'm not that I am now responsible for asbestos in the space, you write that into the lease, I'm gone. Western Digital or Seagate hard drives? I would prefer Western Digital because the Seagate Rosewood series made me lose all faith in the company. The story today was Tapanyu, closed for cash issue. What does that mean? Oh, that store today was Tapanyu. What store today? And what's Tapanyu? What? What am I reading here? That makes no sense. I asked for one collab and I see you're still making fun of that idea. I can't help myself. Are you subscribed to Pewdiepie? I'm subscribed to T-Series, like any good American. Please start crowdfunding pages, Robert Smith, for £2. Yes. Are you subscribed to Pewdiepie or T-Series, Paul?
Neither.
T-Series?
Neither.
T-Series?
Neither.
You better subscribe to T-Series before the day is up.
I think T-Series won.
Oh yeah, T-Series obviously won. They were meant to win. They were always going to win. Why do you change keyboards so frequently? Paul was really mad at my last keyboard.
Oh my god.
I don't know why.
Lewis is a very
Do you
angry
refurbish
typer.
LCDs? That's not... No. I don't refurbish LCDs. Yeah, why do you hate that keyboard, Paul?
Lewis types like he's angry all the time. So
Right.
any kind of clacky keyboard, no, forget it, no.
Paul's salty that I type real fast. I type real fast. I don't type slow. I don't type slow. I don't type slow. Like Gucci Mane would say. I don't type slow. Bluetooth speakers are the best. Change my mind. Listen to the Vandersteen Model 2. You can get them for about $400 on AudioGun or eBay in a well-treated room, and then listen to a Bluetooth speaker. And if you're not deaf, I've changed your mind. And if you are deaf, I can't change your ears. So,
There's no one to help me.
we need a Paul channel. Sort it out, Lewis. Make it happen.
I have my own channel.
What is Paul's channel?
I just have absolutely no time to work on it.
What's the name of Paul's channel?
Just Paul S. If you just click on my name in the chat. Someday I will get time to grow my own channel.
Harrison says I demand a refund of all donation money. Feel free to reach out to Susan or Jackie, because we don't get a button for that.
Oh my god.
Where do you get all your news? I get my news from Joyanne Reed's Twitter feed, 4chan, Mark Dice.
Lauren, that's a bannable suggestion.
Yeah, I get all my news from Joyanne Reed's Twitter feed.
Somebody suggested you should get a typewriter for in here.
I've got a chance to buy a mint condition 2015 Retina. That's a joke, by the way, for any of you who take that seriously. I've got a chance to buy a mint condition 2015 Retina, top of the line, yada yada, for $500. Only thing is the battery needs replaced. Worth it. Not bad. Yeah, I would go for it. What did you say?
Lauren said that you should get a typewriter.
Who's Lauren?
I don't know. Somebody in chat said that you should get a typewriter.
A typewriter? I would love a typewriter.
No.
Can I get a loud typewriter?
No. All typewriters are loud. I told
Lewis,
Lewis
you
I
said
was.
that store you visited yesterday was closed because of the Oh.
I told Lewis I was going to bring in one of
Is
my
Intel
dot
Optane
matrix
a thing?
printers.
What is your opinion on people doing personal attacks when approaching a controversial idea instead of actually discussing a way to make that idea less controversial? Like your battery videos in our Apple. I made a couple of posts in our Apple. If you look through my Reddit post history, if you actually go to my Reddit account and you click through my post history, I don't know what Intel Optane even is. Paul, look at pinned message on Discord general chat. I don't know what Aptane is. I'm a noob. If you actually go through my Reddit posts, even when people are fairly, I answered that one already. Even when people are really aggravated and just like full in insult mode, I'll actually go through the points and respond to them as best as I can. At some point, like I'll start to lose it when somebody's just obviously miscategorizing things for the fuck of it. But I actually do my best to go through things and really explain things properly. And the reason I do that is because all I'm interested in doing is planting a seed. I'm not looking to change somebody's mind. Honestly, I don't expect to change somebody's mind. If you've had a viewpoint for 2 or 3 or 5 years and you're willing to change it because of one thing I said, I would question your decision-making process. I want to plant a seed, and that seed may not grow into something today. I've been trying to find your email since the last donation I gave you a few minutes ago. I can give you my info, and we can possibly plan something in the future. Mention in the previous dono message what's the best form of contact. Good night, friends. Lewis@rossmanngroup.com is my email, but just realize I read it at my pace. Because sometimes people will email me and they'll go, "Hey, Lewis, did you get the email? Hey, Lewis, you read the email? Hey, Lewis, you read the email? Hey, Lewis, you read the email?" It's like, at any given time, there's like 100 or 500 unread emails in there. So, but yeah, you can email me and I read it at my pace. As long as you're okay with that, then feel free to send me an email. Thank you very much. Yeah, I have 2 mommies now, says Oreo. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have a single mommy. And you don't have a daddy. You're an orphan, Oreo. Anyway, my cat does not. That's not my cat. You're tricking me. You're fucking with me. He's a foster kitty. I plan on getting rid of him someday. What was I saying? I try to plant a seed, and somebody may have their own their impression of who I am and what I do and why I do what I do, and I may disagree with their ideas of it. But you never know. Somebody else may read that and go, "Huh. There's a lot of insults and a lot of slandering crap." And that response is actually kind of reasonable. Maybe I should look in. Maybe I shouldn't just trust what I see on the screen, but actually do some of my own research. I'm just planting a seed. "Hey, Lewis, my girlfriend is starting to browse at the Apple Store looking for a MacBook. What should I do?" It sounds like it's time for you to get Tinder, Bumble, one of those apps, and find a new girlfriend. I can't imagine dating somebody that chooses to continue, not just use Apple products, that's fine, but buy new Apple products. I can't, that's not going to work out. And you know it's not going to work out. It's just a matter of time before you say it. Thanks for all the videos. Best of luck fighting in a store. Thank you for the 1479. And thank you to the other one that went away way too fast. I got to figure out why they go away too fast, but I'm never going to have the time for that because there's always something. What was it like having CBC make a news story with you? 2 elephants meet a totally naked guy. After a while, one elephant says to the other, "I really don't get how he can feed himself with that thing." Thank you for the 123. One of the things that is... holy crap, how do you keep up with this? Well, Apple products get better, they don't listen. I think they'll get better when they start losing money, but seeing as they make more money year after year, their stock goes up year after year, there's no incentive. Once it starts going down, they'll start listening. Until it goes down, they'll continue sniffing their own farts and thinking they can do no wrong. The CBC News piece, here's the thing, and I mentioned this in the most recent Reddit post I did, and you can go to my Reddit post history to see it. What really pisses me off is that when I got the phone call about doing that piece, they presented me a bunch of ideas, and they all sounded really boring. Like, Apple, we want to do a piece on Apple being bad with upgrades, or this, that, or the other. And I thought, this is a really lame and boring sounding piece. Read this message again. I'm not reading that. That's a trap, and I can't compute it in my head what it is just yet, but I'm pretty sure it's a trap.
Looks like something tiny.
But
This side, so I'm assuming
I appreciate the dollar, though.
slightly. I'll put it in your queue over here if you want.
The thing is, they came to me with that idea about what they were going to do a piece on. So they said that this piece is going to be on Apple being bad with upgrades. We want to do a piece on Apple being bad with upgrades. Can you give us information, or can you tell us what we should do? And I said that's lame. It's like you already have a conclusion. They're bad with upgrades. That's lame. You created the conclusion, and now you're just going to do a story about the conclusion. The bar you looked at is closed from a gas issue. I didn't. What bar did I look at? You mean the one I looked at yesterday? What is your opinion on people who do personal attack when approaching? Okay, I think I answered the above one. I'm still in the process of answering it. But now I actually lost my train of thought because 3 things popped up on the screen at the same time. Fuck. Oh, the CBC News piece. So with that CBC News piece, I said, let's do a story on Apple and repair. Now, it could be a good story, it could be a bad story, but they have the decision. They're going to decide whether it's a good or a bad story. Find a broken MacBook, bring it to Apple, see what they say, bring it to me, see what I say. Let's see if the truth lines up with what they say. Just out of curiosity, let's for shits and giggles. I've had a chance to buy a mint condition mid-2015 MacBook Pro right on the top of the line, yada yada, for $500. Only thing battery needs replaced, worth it. It is if it's in good condition, but it depends if it's in good condition. It's not bad for $500. But again, it is a MacBook. Now, so the story just so happened to come out with them saying probably $1,300 to $2,000 for a $1,300 computer, which is absolutely ridiculous, and they totally missed what was actually wrong with it. But the thing is, with the way I suggested they do the story kind of writes itself. They're not writing a story, because that's what you see. What you said, that you said, how did it feel to make a story with CBC? I don't want to. You make fiction. You don't make news. And oh my God. Football starts soon. Rather watch Mr. Rossmann. Who's with me? Who's your favorite board to work on? My favorite board to work on is the 820-3437 because it's the easiest one. Got the 2017 MacBook Pro. All things good, but seems to bend very easily from what I noticed. I baby the hell out of it because I know it's that unsturdy. Yeah, what do you do? What are you doing sharing the name of my cat? You're sharing my cat's name, and at the same time, you're still buying a MacBook. Why? But anyway, when it comes to making a CBC news story, you don't make a fucking news story. You cover the news. You make fiction. You make Harry Potter. You make Game of Thrones. You don't make a news story. Hi, how much would you charge to send my MacBook Air 2018 straight to hell? I don't believe in hell. You should probably reach out to a priest. Thank you for the $1.42. I appreciate it. You don't make a story. You don't make the news. You cover it. And we want to talk about Apple being bad with upgrades. That's not. I'm not doing that. I told them, God damn it, you can't finish a fucking sentence with this. Is Google male or female? Female because it doesn't let you finish a sentence before making a suggestion. You're copying and pasting these from some website. Hey, Louis, my girlfriend is browsing the Apple Store right now. She wants me to buy a MacBook. What do I do? I think I already made the suggestion. Tinder, Bumble, OkCupid. There's a lot of places out there where you could probably find somebody that's not browsing the Apple Store. But back to this. You don't get to make the news. You have to report it. So I gave them an opportunity to do a story, and I said, I'm going to be involved if you do it this way. And that story is the one that I actually wanted. And I get these kind of requests on a regular basis, and I'll tell them, this is what I think you should do. The same shit happened with somebody when they were talking about Apple with the humidity. Oh my God. With the humidity detectors. So with the humidity detectors, not the humidity, the liquid sensors, they had this idea on how to do a story, a lawsuit, and I said, this is the bullshit. Here's what you should do. Figure out what humidity level in the room is required for actual corrosion to get on the board, then figure out what humidity level is required in the room in some sort of scientific environment for the sensor to turn, and then you could show if there's a tiny gap, then no suit. If there's a huge gap, then you could say this thing turns colors when there's humidity, even if there's no visible liquid on the board and no corrosion forming with the power going through it, then there's a point for a lawsuit. So I'll say, here are the parameters within which I'll do a story with you. And if you fall outside those parameters, I'm not interested in doing the story. I'm not going to participate in their repair program because A, I sell parts to which they said you're not allowed to do if you're in the program, and B, it's honestly not that great. $117 for an iPhone 6s screen, really? When somebody can go on eBay and buy an iPhone 6s for $130, you think that I'm going to be giving them a screen part by itself for $117? Nobody's going to go for that. I can get a screen that's 99% as good for that as for $30 to $50, and 99% as good when you're talking about a 3 to 4 year old phone is good for 99% of the population. That 1% of the population for which that's not good enough for is probably going to go to Apple anyway. I'm never going to see them. It's not a competitive program. It doesn't give me access to parts, schematics, and diagrams for stuff I actually need. It doesn't even give me access to a charge port for an iPhone 6. What the hell? It's not great. It's good as a symbolic representation of a step forward, and that's it. Nothing else. Love your channel. Please check mine. Thank you very much for the £4.99, whatever they call pounds after the decimal point in the UK. But yeah, the thing is that I gave Apple, through the framework of the story that I suggested CBC do, I gave Apple a chance to show that they were awesome. Because that's the thing, doing a story on how they're bad at upgrades, that is fuck. Broken to the greenies, send more to me at Mars. Thank you very much for the $1. Clinton the cat. I gave Apple a chance to show that they were good at their job. My story wasn't they're bad at upgrades. It wasn't here's the narrative, now we're just going to write about the fucking narrative that we already had, because that's bullshit. That's not the news is not supposed to be I have a narrative, now I'm going to report on show shit that supports it and shows it to be true. The news is supposed to be here's what's going on in the world. So I gave them a chance, and they fucked up. But the thing is, I gave them a chance, and a lot of people say that CBC piece was staged, you purposely did that, you made that shit up, blah, blah, blah. Thank you to Yakko for the 221. You made that shit up. And the thing is, if they had actually run the story they wanted to run before they called me, that actually would have been a story of just, I have a narrative and now I'm going to report on it. The story that I had them run was the story that, in my opinion, actually gave Apple more benefit of the doubt and more chance. Now, I don't see how it's my fault that Apple fucked that up big time. It's not my fault. They had all the benefit of the doubt. Okay, let's see. What have I missed? I'm guessing I'm going to be scrolling up and reading some messages from people that say they're frustrated that I don't read their chats. Maybe I'll learn how to talk faster. Working on MacBook Pro 2011 computer was dropped, getting no fan spin, replaced I.O. board and battery. Thoughts? There is no I.O. First thing is there is no I.O. board in a 2011 MacBook Pro, so you're scaring me. So my thoughts are you don't sound like you're qualified here, or you're giving me wrong information. Your chat is crazy. You're doing great. Best entertainment ever. Thank you very much to Kevin Nielsen for the $10. Yeah, so my thought there is that that doesn't sound right. My thoughts are that you're scaring me with I don't think, there's something wrong there. You're not giving me the right information, and that you should watch all of my videos on no power. One of the things, I would check out R7051, R7052, and C7050, because R7051 or R7052 often goes open on that machine and keeps the fan from spinning. Love your channel, your message. My favorite video and the one with the most impactful video made in my life is the title of the true F word. Thank you, Lewis from Vander Latino for $5. Thank you very much. Yeah, but the thing is that's important here is that you want to make sure that any more furniture to wipe my rectum on, please, bro. Oreo, I will fuck you up, cat. Please ride your bike more slowly. We need you alive, says GoldenEye forever. I'll be alive for a long time. But I lost track of where I was. Did you see Eli the computer guy released from ban? I did not. So I hope you're having a good day. Thank you for putting out regular quality content. Thank you very much. CBC used to care more about real news, but they're behaving like a tabloid more every year. Considering they were funded by my taxes, I'm not impressed. Well, if that's your take, then I'm okay with that. No question. Just hope you're having. If you think that CBC is not covering what you think should be covered, and you're paying for it, I understand why you're aggravated there, and I'm not going to push back on it. The only thing I push back on is when people say that's a fake-ass story. You made it a fake-ass story, when I actually pushed for it to be a story that gave them as much benefit of the doubt as humanly possible and gave Apple every single chance to do the right thing. It's not my fault they fucked up. This is a test super chat for $85. Oh, I must have hit the wrong button. I'm clicking through Streamlabs to try and make that go away. To make the thing stay on the screen longer. Can I have some greenies? You are not my kitty. BlackBerry can have greenies. Clinton can have greenies. But you cannot have greenies. Because you are not my kitty. Okay, let's see. How do I make this stay on the screen longer? Here we go, 10 seconds. Move that up to 31 seconds, and we're good. And make... Please don't yell the password while I'm streaming. Don't be a bro. No, bro. Does your Amazon gift show on your stream messages? It says Jaj for $1. I have a bunch of these little papers, and I've been sending people thank yous as I make the time for it. So yeah, I have a bunch of these in my apartment. My apologies if I haven't gotten yours yet. Also, hello to Jaj. Long time no see, my friend. Let's see. You forgot a cat. Did I? Did I? Is it PP bus or PP bus? PP or PB bus? No, it's PP bus. P as in please, P as in Paul, bus. His cats know his Wi-Fi password. Kopaz says, don't delay, euthanize Oreo today. I'm not going to do that today. He did scratch BlackBerry in the face yesterday, though, so... Thank you for the greenies and more sponsorship. But yeah, for the person with the 2011 MacBook Pro, if it's a 15-inch, you're absolutely fucked, and there's enough content on this channel to tell you why. If it's a 13-inch, check out R7051, R7052, and the current sensing circuit dies will only turn on for a millisecond or two at a time, which will show itself as a little quarter fan spin, which you're only going to see if you're looking right. Stepped in the power switch. Whoops. And you're only going to see that if you're looking really closely. I have to turn my white balance back so it's not orange. You should call your new bar the Ingenious Bar. It speaks to your skill, ingenuity, and resourcefulness. Thank you very much to Rayman for the 250. Not all RF gear is commercial. Ham gear is more expensive than Macs. Most new stuff is around $5,000. The kicker is they give you schematics. Doc died here in Saratoga. We need someone. Doc died? Who's Doc? Salso says, I miss you, Daddy. Can you bring my brother Oreo over so we can play? Of course, little birdie. I would be happy to introduce Girlfriend's Bird to my kitty. Especially if you miss Oreo and you like to see Oreo again. We can make that happen. I'm curious how you and Paul met. Well, Paul was a moderator in my YouTube chat, so usually now and then I'll moderate the people that seem like they know what they're talking about or seem like they're mature. And I noticed that about Paul. And one day in his chat he said, I'm really sick and tired of doing hard boards all day. I'd really like to just remove JTAGs from 3437s for a living. And I said, sure, come on by. And he came by the next day, and that was happily ever after. Pink Sinner says, check your front door soon.
Why is everybody effing?
Because I accidentally hit the foot pedal that turns off this because my book bag got stuck to my chair. Do you even remotely consider iPhone as your next phone? If Google were to become even worse as privacy goes. Honestly, it's not a privacy thing, it's a size thing. I can't use this phone because it doesn't fit in my hand. So right now, I have an LG G8, and one of the problems that I have with the LG G8 is that it doesn't fit in my hand. So if I hold it, and I need to touch something over there, this is my thumb. It's like, it doesn't fit. Check your email, sent you info on GoPro dongle. Thank you, but I think Hi ordered one for me a few days ago. But I genuinely appreciate that. E-bike build or buy recommendations. You gotta build, because if you buy, you get garbage. If you buy it, you're gonna get some shit that's stuck at 20 or 25 miles an hour, some 250 watt trash rubbish motor, and you're gonna spend $4,000 to $5,000 for it. They're so fucking expensive, and it would be okay if they were expensive if they were good, but they're not. I can build a bike for like even $1,200. I could build a bike from scratch that would smoke any of that $4,000 to $6,000 garbage. Do not buy a pre-built e-bike. They fucking suck. It's painful how bad they suck. Did you get the space that was $10K a month? Not yet, because I just saw that space yesterday, and I'm waiting for them to email me a lease, and they may not email me a lease offer. Maybe they're going to change their mind and say, we don't want to do business with you. Who knows? I just met them yesterday. I don't take people to bed right after I meet them. You know, I want to get to know them first. You know, you don't just get to... Do you sell parts for Mac Pro A1186? No, I don't. Check out the S10e. Oh, I am done with Samsung shit. It's still a large phone. It's way bigger than the S7. But B, I'm sick and... I had the Samsung Galaxy S4G, the S3, the S5, the S7. They all get slow after a year. I factory reset. I put a new OEM battery in. No, I'm done with Samsung, and they're getting slow over time. I built my e-bike for $750 total. It includes most of the bicycle, and I got $250 back because the e-bike kept having flat tires. Hey Louis, how's it going? How are things with the new place you were looking at? And was going to buy an iPad on eBay earlier, then realized that even if the seller doesn't take my money and run, I would still be getting scammed. Well, that's a good way. That's one way to see it. Thank you very much for the £20. And yeah, I don't blame you for deciding that you were not going to buy an iPad. It was going to bend anyway. How's the new store hunt going? It is going. What email should I mail if I have a concern where I can hear or get a reply from you? That's almost impossible. It depends on what the email is. The thing is, I have an email address, but the email address that I have is constantly bombarded with crap. And I usually arrange it based on how important it is to me, which is often offensive to people who think that what I think is important should be what they think of as important. So my email is a mess, and I respond to it as I have the time. What Final Fantasy IX titles do we recommend from their soundtrack? You were playing some good ones from the other day, forget the name. Awakened Forest is a good one. Kuja 5 is a good one. Anything at the end of Disc 4 is good. Bran Bal Soulless Village I really like. Terra is very relaxing. Get the entire soundtrack to Final Fantasy IX. And you got to get the Plus one as well. So get the Piano Collections, that's one disc. The Plus, another disc. And the 4 CD normal one, that's another album. What does Paul do for fun in his spare time? Do you have spare time?
Whenever I do have spare time, photography is my biggest hobby. I have a lot of cameras. I do a lot of film photography still.
Is there a future in PC repair and sales? Sales, not really. Best Buy and Amazon are going to kill you with that one. Repair, maybe, depends on what you're focusing on. Hey, fix your brakes. Yes, but that bike has been... The brakes work. The rest of it now doesn't. VV's theme is the bomb. Da 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 da. If you had to fire one employee, who would you give the axe to? If I had to fire one person, who would I give the axe to? It's kind of cruel to announce that. You all know who it is already, but it's cruel to say it out loud. Final Fantasy IX is the best in the series. Change my mind. I won't, because it is the best in the series. You're correct. People who claim that 7 or 8 are the best in the series, they don't know 9. Schlubs. Why my thing go up? I need answer fast, please. If you type please as PLS, I almost already know that I don't want to answer your question. But let's see what you said. Let's see. I look forward to your store finding adventures. Thank you. Dun, 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 dun. Da, 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 da. Someone says meow. You a fan of Intel or AMD? I gotta know. I'm not a fan of anything. I prefer what works better, and what works better now appears to be AMD, so I'll use that. Don't be a fan of a fucking processor manufacturer. At what age do you think of retiring? The age at which I have enough money. Do you work at a store or from a home office? I'll let you guess. If you didn't live in the U.S., where would you like to live? The U.S. Which of the potential store locations you looked at so far was your favorite? The bar place, but we'll see. You repair kernel panic errors. If it's a machine that has a known hardware glitch that causes them, yes. If it's any other machine, then no. If you have a kernel panicking A1706, no. If you have a kernel panicking A1398 from 2013, yes. It really depends on the year and model. Lewis, I walked by your place recently and you looked pissed and closed the door on us. Is that true? When you say I closed the door on you, do you mean that... Like, give me context. Were we open or were we closed? Was I walking out because I had not eaten in 5 hours and I was running to get food, and you were walking in saying, "Hey, stop what you're doing"? Like, give me some context. His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti, says Oreo. That's not Oreo. Why do people keep... If you come to my store, that means I'm at work. If I'm at work, that means that I'm either fixing a board that is like running wires under shit that doesn't work, or spending 2 to 4 hours on a board that's a nightmare, or maybe I got off the phone with a customer who was an asshole. Maybe I went through 5 customers in a row that were an asshole. This is not going to be what people want to hear, but if you visit somebody at their work, you're not probably always going to see them at their happiest. If you visit somebody at a bar, maybe you'll see them at their happiest. If you visit them at a swim club or a golf club, you'll see them at their happiest. If you visit them at their work, where their job all day is to work on products that are poorly documented, that you don't have the parts and schematics and diagrams that you always need to fix them properly, while dealing with customers that want everything to be done in a 1 to 2 day time period, when in fact it takes longer than that, you're probably not going to see them at their happiest. I'll leave it at that. Watching from Mexico City. I worked at an independent repair shop just like yours and broke more than one flex cable trying to connect it. Sorry. It's okay as long as you fix it. Hope you get that restaurant stored. Thank you for the $5. Could possibly make a waiting lounge. Were you doing what I think you were doing?
No.
PlayStation or N64? Oh, PlayStation by far.
Atari 2600.
Jaguar. What should I do with my iPad Air that my little brother smashed? I would make your little brother buy you a new one. Take it out of his college fund. Take it out of his deferred Social Security payment. Final Fantasy Mystic Quest was the best. I have not tried that. Are you still being sued by Apple? I have not been sued by Apple in the past, and I am not being sued by Apple now. I thought I was close to it, but it never happened. I'm gonna miss the store hunting live streams when you get the new space. I had them ask me to take down some of my content, and they were fairly pushy about me taking down my content, and then I didn't take down my content, and I told them what they could do if they wanted me to take down my content, and it never came to that because of internet pushback. What are your thoughts on Windows, Linux? Really like to know. Linux, it's like it's been around for a ridiculous amount of time yet, and I still can't just do stuff like change between cameras on a Stream Deck on it. At the end of the day, for things that everybody does, it's cool, but for any sort of niche use that record, like even just something like a Stream Deck. Is there a Stream Deck for Linux? Is there a custom? Has somebody ported this to work on that? It's like there's so many things that I'd like to do that are easy in Windows that become more difficult just because I choose to use Linux. So I use Linux for work and for home from 2003 through 2014, and then gave up on it. Just don't make sure if you want the flex cable that you replace it. What do you think of Astoria? I've been to New York City twice, went there twice. It was a nice neighborhood, viable location for a new store. Too expensive. Astoria is about as expensive as Manhattan, except it's going to have less customers, so I don't want to go there. Like, if Astoria, thank you for fixing my Mac that had 2 batteries expand inside of it. Very nice to have a computer that isn't a bomb. Thank you very much to Alex. I really appreciate the $5, and I'm glad you have a working MacBook. If Astoria, here's the thing with Astoria. It's the same thing with Williamsburg. If Astoria and Williamsburg were cheaper than the areas of Manhattan that I'm looking at, I'd do it, but they're not. They cost more, so I'm not going to go, or as much. I'm not going to go to out into the sticks where I'm less centrally located if it actually costs more money to do so. Would you credit your success more to dedication or luck? It's not an end or kind of thing. It's continuous dedication will bring you luck. The more you work, the luckier you will get. It's not a guarantee, but the luckier you'll get. A specific area of tech support for a new business, says Austin. Thank you for the $2. A specific area of tech support for a new business. That's a good question. What is needed in your area? Eli does this thing where he talks about informational interviews, and I would try doing something like that. Do an informational interview and see what it is that people need from you.
See you tomorrow.
See you later, Paul. Thanks for everything. Do you enjoy building computers? Oh, hell no. I can't stand building computers. It's fucking aggravating. Because, there's no... Building computers is boring as shit. It really is. It's monkey see, monkey do assembly line rubbish. It's mind-numbing, boring shit. I mean, I pay people here to assemble computers because I hate it so much. I really dislike it. There's nothing about assembling a computer that I find fun. What's that?
I don't know. It's delivered Lewis.
Oh god. Is it poison?
I hope not.
Can you test it for me?
Depends on what it is.
Wow. It's a drink and a banana. Thank you very much. What is this? Our organic aloe juice.
That looks like.
This looks like sperm.
Jesus Christ.
Look at it. Thanks for fixing my Mac. That is too. Yeah, look. This is.
You guys gotta read this. No. Read the name. Can you focus on me?
Focus. Throat comfort. You are such.
Comfort for Lewis.
You're such a fourth grader. No maturity.
Throat comfort.
Throat comfort.
Who thinks
A specific area of tech support for new business. Informational interviews with places in your area. That's the type of question for Eli the computer guy. Thank you to Pink Cinna if you got me this nice banana. What is your email again, mate? I've written out the email with the reply and ready to send. It's lewis@rossmanngroup.com. Feeling way too loose in the street, but too anxious to say hello. You should be anxious to say hello to me. Be anxious to say hi to a hot girl you like or something, but not me, for fuck's sake. Who the hell am I? I mean, really, you shouldn't. You shouldn't be anxious to say hi to anybody. But if you are, at least save it for what's worth it. New or genuine used parts, how do you price them? I don't understand what you mean. New or genuine used? Well, is the new genuine or is the new knockoff? How do you price them? How do I price what? A screen, a cable, a hard drive cable, a resistor, a capacitor? Unfortunately, I really appreciate the $2. I genuinely do. But that's far too general a question for me to even remotely start answering. There's not enough information there for me to be able to give you a proper response. You seem to know audio well. I recently became addicted to audio equipment. Any recommendations for DACs, amps, and monitors? The first thing that I think you should do is read Hydrogen Audio really closely, because this is a very important website when it comes to this stuff, since they require ABX testing. If you say, I think this sounds better than this, and you do not provide a scientific, double-blind ABX test, they will ban you. I like that, because it keeps people from spending way too much money on stuff.
Kevin and I are about to leave the last. Do you want us to lock the doors?
Let me see if I have my key.
I think Kevin has the key.
Yeah, can you lock? Thanks. See you later. I like that. The amp and the DAC is not going to make much of a difference. The speakers are, and put your money into acoustic treatment of the room, and put your money into the speakers itself. But don't drive yourself nuts on shit you're not going to tell much difference in. You are the Louis Rossmann. Yes, but what does that mean anything for? Any update on the nice place you looked at with Paul? Nothing yet, unfortunately. Nope. Haven't gotten a lease today. Continue my search.
Just want me to lower the gate halfway?
Yeah, thank you very much. See you later, Kevin. this long. This long. Lewis, you need a real girlfriend to go home to. They're busy. There's lots of mail to deliver. John Kuhn funded... You're trying to trick me into reading a dirty word. And you won, you bastard. You won. Do you watch AVE? My favorite video is the blender. AVE opening a blender. I love that video so much. I want to send AVE a MacBook to fix. I was going to do it 2 years ago and I got busy. Please take me to work with you. You need more time away from BlackBerry. I will do it. We'll take you to the store on the Bafang. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. What's the craziest damaged machine you've repaired? Like someone's machine was damaged in a new crazy way. It's usually cat piss. For Don Brown, cat piss. Cat piss is the nastiest and most annoying. And I'm never fucking doing that again. And that was because I was for me to sell. If it wasn't something that I got to actually sell, I was just getting paid to fix it, I wouldn't do it. You said there was a 4-video series you made, had a deal with customers that said you're damaging something you're not. Can you link it at this time? Sure. Let me find that. Use. It's a 4-part series. So I'm going to show you part 3. This is another part. And you're going to have to find the other 2 because there's another question that's going to... Hey, what do you know? It already popped up. See, another question. Sorry. I have no longer than 10 seconds to answer any question. Hi, I sent the email. My email is harrystreaming@hotmail. Thank you again. I'm going to go to Bunny's bed. It's 1:30 and I'm going to cry. Good night, friends. Why are you going to cry? And why are you... What are you doing with bunnies in your bed? What are you, Epstein? Are you an Epstein? Do you enforce political correctness at work? You don't know much about me, now do you? Next. I'll always remember the PP Bus monorail MacBook that worked in the end. That was a crazy repair. Oh, yes, that was awesome. The PP Bus monorail. That was awesome. What are the 3 absolutely essential things you're looking for in the new space? By the way, if you want to see something that actually worked, it came back for warranty and we wound up just buying them a new board. But if you want to see some of the craziest shit that I've done, it's hanging on the wall there on like the Hall of Fame. I'm looking for enough, let's see, a price that's not a ripoff, a lease agreement that's not trying to bend me over and fuck me in the ass and get me responsible for asbestos, and enough space to do business. Yeah, that was something. That actually worked. That at one point in time, that actually did work. But it came back, and we just fucking bought the customer a new board. Sometimes... You get a little... Sometimes you're in the mood to do something fun. That was a fun board repair. What's the AV opening a blender video? Blend Tech or something? Oh, come on, bro. Google food. Google. Let's see. Even I may be able to find this. AVE blender. Oh, he's done a lot of blenders, it seems, Mr. AVE. That's why you can't find it. Best Bed-Stuy and Gowanus are the sticks. Williamsburg is an Apple store for you to move next to, not the sticks. Yeah, but the real estate there is going to be fucking crazy. You don't understand. Williamsburg is actually at a point where there's a premium charge for it that's more money than Manhattan. Once the L train stops working, Williamsburg real estate is going to be fucking worthless. So I don't care. I'm not investing in real estate that's already not just market rate, which is ridiculous, but way above market rate when I know that's going to go down when the L train stops working. Like, no interest in that. What battery to use for your bike? I use a battery from em3ev.com. I'm getting a new one, but still, for the time being, EM3EV. Would you consider to have a small, cozy coffee shop along with your store with free Wi-Fi? Free Wi-Fi, really? You think that I have enough internet to actually give it away? You mean that the internet where I pay $409 plus tax every single month, and it still takes me 3 to 6 hours to upload a YouTube video, voice over IP goes out regularly, and my streams have 4,000 drop frames every time? And you think I have internet to give away? The nerve! Have you ever accepted fellatio for board repair? No, but I have received fellatio after doing board repair and getting paid for it. But that was only once. In 11 years. And it wasn't planned, it just worked out that way. Would you like to accept Bitcoin as payment for your store or online store? No. Because the crypto goes from here to here to here to here to here to here. It's not a stable enough currency for me to accept it as for a business. I went to the Apple store in Australia and I started playing your videos on all display models. Friend of Oreo. Well, that sounds interesting. I like that. Very nice thing, friend of Oreo. But is anybody still here? Nope. Everybody's gone. Vitamix. That was a blend. Yeah, I was looking for Blend Tech, not Vitamix. I think... which blender am I looking for? Is a $400... Oh, Blend Tech. It's not Vitamix. This one. Yeah.
I am not on your mother's...
Open it, you fuck. Here we go.
Obvious. Obviously,
This is how you open a blender. I love AV. I don't know if that was the event I was thinking of, but I enjoy that. I want to open people's MacBooks like that someday. Did you see the main board wall in Linus' old office when you were there? Would you consider something similar in the new store with old broken MacBook boards? I did not see the main board wall, no, but thank you for the $1.10. I did see that there was a warehouse where he has a bunch of hardware. Oh, I was not talking about you. I don't know if that makes it better, though. Can't hear a thing. No audio from source, only your mic. Fuck. Oh, yeah, I fucked up big time. I screwed up my audio capture. Oh, well. I suck. Oh, well. You're like a blue-collar Jordan Peterson. Does that mean I will have multiple newspapers and online outlets all hate me? I don't think so. The only online outlet that appears to dislike me intensely is r/Apple. Whereas Jordan Peterson has all sorts of newspapers and people that dislike him. Is the new store a go? No, not yet. I need to get a lease agreement from them. They have not given me a lease agreement yet. And who knows? They may not do it. Somebody just sent me a blog post from Evie Grieve. The marshal serves notice at the Panju turntable on 4th and B. How about a celebrity boxing match, you versus Linus? Why do that? That's a waste of time. Why be violent? There's no need to solve problems with violence. There's no need to use violence when we can have discussions. Why? What would any of you get out of a boxing match between me and Linus? See, I'm looking at this. There was a marshal's notice, apparently. Ah, there was no gas in the place. This sure sounds like the kind of idiot landlord that can't manage their property and keeps killing businesses. Ooh, this is interesting. Let's read some gossip. So this is about the space that I was looking at renting. Anybody want to read gossip on the space that I was renting? Or about to rent? Let's see if it shows up on screen for you. The marshal serves notice at the Panju turntable on 4th and B. The Panju turntable had sold Korean tapas and color-changing beer towers when dark in the late fall on the northwest corner of Avenue B and 4th Street. At the time, a sign on the door noted a gas issue. There hadn't been much, if any, activity here in recent months. Now, E.V. Grieve reader Alexis shares this photo, showing that the marshal came calling with the landlord taking legal possession of the space. So there likely won't be an encore. Thank you for the repair videos. I've been in EE for 40 years. I've learned quite a bit about surface mount BGA techniques from you. Thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for the $5. I'm glad you learned something. I'm surprised I was able to teach you anything if you've been an engineer for 40 years. I haven't even been an engineer for one. I haven't been an engineer for a second. I'm just a janitor. So there likely won't be an encore presentation of Japan. This is, by the way, this is the building I was looking at renting the barn. This is the place that I looked at yesterday. So the place I looked at yesterday, this is the building they're talking about. So there likely won't be an encore presentation of Japan U Turntable, which reopened in December 2017. God damn it. If it's strange that I am I thought you muted because America BS is copyright. No, I didn't have desktop audio capture going, so when I turned on the video, I was muting my microphone, but I didn't realize that the audio from the video wasn't coming through in Open Broadcaster, which is a problem I'll have to fix later, but I'm probably not going to have time because the moment I'm done with this, I'm going to go home, and the moment I go home, I'm going to have to clean, the moment I'm done cleaning, I'm going to go to sleep, and then I'm going to wake up early and go back to work again after the gym tomorrow. But let's go back to reading this article. So there likely won't be an encore presentation. Oh, by the way, thank you for the $2. Which reopens in December 2017, a rebranded version of Turntable 5060. Same owners, was debuted in July 2015. It's the same address. The Marshal posted a notice, HT Alexa, to the former Nobody is Perfect next door on 4th Street. Nobody is Perfect closed last August. Bistro owner Mario Carter told me this in email. The gas in the entire building, including the apartments and restaurant next to us, had been shut down for 6 months. We were unable to provide a decent menu to our customers during that period of time, and that affected our business, knowing that we were open for less than a year trying to build clientele in the neighborhood. Oh, that sucks. Can you imagine signing a lease and then realizing that you have no gas and you're a fucking restaurant? Ow. 5 restaurants. Nobody is Perfect. B4, Piccola, Positano, Tonda, and EU have come and gone at 235 East 4th Street in the past 10 years. Someone said still Miss Kate's. Second comment, that sure sounds like the kind of idiot landlord that can't manage their property and keeps killing businesses. Third, Doom location. 4 says rip Chase joint. Well, I don't need gas. It would be nice to have another way to heat if there's no gas, because right now we have no gas in the winter in this building. So it's not even like it's a downgrade, because in this building that I'm in right here, there's no gas in the winter anymore. There used to be gas in the winter, and then it went on fire, and now I'm stuck with it. So there is... Yeah, so it went on fire. What are you going to clean when you get home? My home, man. Don't be a... Come on. Use your brain. Might be worth asking some of the neighbors if you plan to move in. Yeah, that's the thing. With the space that I have now, I have no place to go but up. When winter comes this year, we're just going to be putting on more layers of clothes here. So yeah, this location... Yeah, you know what? No. No, I'm not giving you a 4-month deposit and personal guarantee. 3-month deposit or... 3-month deposit with personal guarantee or no personal guarantee. But nah. No. Yeah. Nope. Yep. Thank you very much for introducing me to some more history about this space. Yeah. Rent is expensive. Thoughts on living in a van? I don't want to live in a van. Just got into your videos a couple of weeks ago. Never saw it in my life or had any interest. To be very entertaining along with the inspirational stuff. So thanks for the entertainment. Thank you very much to Scott Walters for the $10. I really appreciate it. What do you do to relax and decompress? I fall asleep to an audiobook. I like reading. Yeah, I enjoy reading. I like reading about what's going on in the world. I like reading about... reading. Finally caught a live stream. I don't want to live in a van. Who the hell wants to live in a van? No personal nothing, that's BS. Yeah, that's what I'm leaning towards. There's always a catch. Everywhere there's always a fucking catch. Thank you, Scott. People in Silicon Valley that live in a van are so depressing. Not living in a van. Screw that. What would you recommend career-wise for someone wanting to go into construction and computer components to repair them? I don't know, honestly. That's not my field. The link in this according to the link is expired. That's impossible because that's the 4th time somebody told me that, and every single time I go to that link, I click the little box that says never expire. No way. Discord, why do you do this to me? Let's take a look. Oh yeah, that is an old link. How the fuck did that end up on my YouTube? What? That's horse shit. That's horse shit. Okay, let me change that. Let's load a video that has a working Discord link and add it there. Many layers or one big jacket in the winter? Both. Both, man. You need both. Okay. Fixed Discord link, but you're probably not going to see it until the next stream. Sorry, bro. Soldering paste and hot air for SMD. Soldering paste only for reballing. Someone says check Discord. I can't. I'm busy with this. There's too many things coming in all at the same time. When do you hear back in the place in the prior video? When they decide to email me. If they decide to email me, then I'll know yes or no. If they don't email me, then I'll assume it's a no. But you know when they get back to you. They get back to you when they email you. They email you when they decide to get back to you. That's the way it works. It's like going on a date, first date, messaging them, and seeing what happens from there. When do you go out again? Depends on whether you freaked her out or not. Really? Not much more to it than that. Not much more to it than that. You've talked about not letting people walk all over you. If letting someone do that comes with personal opportunity, is it worth it? That has to be analyzed on a case-by-case basis, so it's not really... Well, firstly, different people have a different idea of what walking all over them means. Do you think Samsung Android tablets are reliable? I haven't tried any, honestly. I personally stay away from Samsung Android devices because of how slow they get with time, and it seems to be something that's not specific to Android. It's just been specific to the Samsung devices that I've used. But that's, again, my anecdotal experience, and I'm not going to push that on you if that's not been your experience. You've talked about oh yeah. Personally, I don't think you're getting ahead if you're letting people walk all over you. What's the status with the store? I don't know. Waiting for them to email me. We'll see if they get back to me. Gotta be a fork here somewhere. I am unboxing a system to send to you at this very moment. I'm sorry as it's a 12-inch. No power, an unhappy little MacBook. I'm sorry that I'm probably going to have to tell you that it's a dead CPU, like it is with most of them, sadly. I hope that's not the case, but usually it is. I don't like the A1534 MacBook. I think it was a terrible little MacBook. And I hate having to give people the bad news over and over again about their A1534. What bike do you have? Could you recommend some others? I have a Trek Roscoe 6, but if I was being smart about it, looking back, I probably would have got a Nishiki Colorado Comp and just put on hydraulic brakes myself and saved a lot of money. Well, it's practically the same bike, it's just hydraulic brakes. You should become a doctor. Basically, a human body repair technician. You could probably go to med school, or just become an unauthorized human body repair technician. What happens when I screw something up, though? Whoops, I wired the 5-volt rail to the 1-volt rail. Sorry, you're dead. I couldn't live with that kind of guilt. What happens if I screw up here? Worst case scenario, somebody's got to wait a few more days before they can check their Facebook. If you look at Google Maps Street View of the place you're looking at, the Street View goes back to 2011. It's boarded up at one stage. I haven't. Doctors kill people all the time. Yeah, but... yeah, there's a lot of guilt involved in that. There's way more guilt involved in that than if I kill a MacBook. Is it hardware or software that causes Samsung to slow down over time? I don't really know. I don't know, and here's the thing, I don't care. If Samsung were the only manufacturer of Android phones, I'd have to have an answer to that question. But they're not. So I don't have to have an answer to that question. I can simply use a different brand where I don't have to experience that. And that's what I choose to do. I choose to use a brand where I don't have to give a shit about that. Which is just about every other brand of Android phone I've ever used besides Samsung. I don't have much incentive to use something that continuously seems to slow down over time. This doesn't... give me one sec, I have to get another set of garbage bags here. Throw everything here away. My garbage pail became full. I'm not feeling the Samsung Slow Fest. We are... You're assuming those people feel guilt in the first place. You gotta feel a little bit of guilt when you... It's one thing when you couldn't save somebody. You know, somebody goes and is coming into the hospital in some sort of hyper whatever shock, and you can't save them. That's different from when you know, like, oh shit, I made that incision too wide, and then they're dead. I don't think there's a human being on Earth that could do that and not feel some sense of guilt somewhere. Especially, now, if you're a serial killer, maybe not. But if you're a doctor and you went into it because you really wanted to help people, then that's gotta hurt. I heard you're good at chemistry. Ha. Why does our HAKKO hate you so much? I think it's because they think I'm attacking them as human beings and not the policy. So, you received the greenies I sent for your kitties. I believe so. Every time I get one of these little papers with the greenie, I've been putting them aside and sending the messages. I sent out a bunch of messages from those QR codes today. I'm pretty sure I did. I'm going to double check it all when I get home tonight, though. Thank you very much, Catherine. You are best mod. Why do you go through so many keyboards? Because Paul hates the loud ones. The Apple message about the message about Apple hating me, I think that they assume I'm attacking them as human beings. It's something that happens a lot in politics. Like, for example, I criticized the Trump tariff policy in a recent video. I didn't even criticize Trump. I criticized the tariff policy and the implementation of the policy when it came to the fact that the government website didn't even say there was a tariff on this particular HS tariff code. I mean, on this harmonized tariff code. So that bothered me. Now, people jump to... here's the jump that people made. I criticized the Trump policy. That means I hate Trump, which means I hate the people who support Trump, which means I hate you, which means I'm going to respond to that by acting as if you just said I hate you, and then I'm going to say I hate you back. So you got this jump, and this jump. So I criticized how Apple deals with their customers. That must mean hate Apple. That must mean I hate people who use Apple. That means I hate you. And I think that's the way they're responding. Because if you look through my post history on Reddit, because my account is just my name, L.A. Rossmann. It's pretty easy to find me. You can see a lot of the stuff that I respond to there, and you can see, if you just look at the threads and the vitriol there, you'll see that the way they respond, very often, they don't respond to my critiques of the policy, they don't respond to my critiques of the design. None of that is done. And most of the time, that's not what they deal with. It's just, it's usually a caricature of what I say. So they'll like take a caricature of what I say, attack that, and then use that as a reason that I'm a piece of shit. I mean, it's the same thing that happens with modern day politics. They're really pissing the battery thing when they said, you didn't tell us that it was not an authorized battery. It's like, yes. Whether or not it was made by the place that makes it for Apple, I'm fairly certain that Tim Cook didn't write me a certification for that battery. Surprise! What I found particularly interesting there is that they said that they didn't, that's new information. How many people that watch my channel from 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, how many of you actually thought that I get my batteries straight from Apple? Like, just serious. Like, how many of you think that I have a certificate of authenticity from Tim Cook or somebody in Apple supply chain about my battery? Are you upping prices for customers if your inventory goes up? Absolutely. Yeah, you saw. I used to sell the Quick 861DW for $264. Now it's $289. I used to sell the Microscope for $550. I actually got fucked selling them for $550 because it cost me an extra $1,000 to import the first one, an extra $3,000 to import the new ones. Yeah, I mean, who's paying it? You are. But such. Have you traveled anywhere outside the U.S.? I traveled to Canada once. I have an iPad Pro. Any recommendations to make sure it stays working? Don't allow it to bend. Don't you let your iPad bend. Let's see. A normal space, about $10,000. A meme space, up to $20,000 for a meme. But when I say a meme space, I mean that has to be like right across the fucking street from Apple. If I'm coming up with a way to pay $20,000 a month, the space has to be literally across the street from Apple, so that I could live stream on the sidewalk and have the Apple store in the fucking background, and I could talk to their customers as they're leaving that are being told shit that's not true. Any updates? None yet. I think you'd be a really good doctor. Your critical thinking skills are good. You don't need really in chemistry to become a doctor. I don't know about my bedside manner. I'm really freaked out by blood. I would never make it through med school. Like, blood freaks me out. Any body liquids freak me out, honestly. That bag is gone, Pink Senna. But I am using the guacamole and the this is dipped. Possibly. Hopefully not. How do you decide which board repair gets a video? If I have time to fix a board that day, I go into the slots and I go ding, 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 choose this one. I grab a few and I do the one where I think that there's something. If I think that there's something for the viewer to learn something from the video, I record it. If it's a 1 or a 2 hour fest of mess and there's nothing to be learned from it, I don't post it. But if I think that there's something that the person watching can learn from it, then I do. And I'll post it. But it also has to do with my availability. Lewis, I've been plant-based since June 2nd. Thank you. I was 500 pounds, now I'm 430. Listen, you lost 70 pounds. I didn't do that for you. You did it. Congratulations on becoming more healthy. I'm looking at setting up free PBX in my company. Like your videos and your current thoughts. I like Voice Pulse. Voice Pulse is decent. The company that, like, Sangoma has their own company, I think, built into free PBX. SipStation or something. It's fucking terrible. Don't use that. The interface on their website is so buggy. None of that, it was awful when I tried signing up for it. I like Voice Pulse though. Voice Pulse is good stuff. You fixed 10-year-old Alienware. No. I'm sorry. I don't get what using 3 dots and 3 question marks, what the point of that is when we live in the age that you could type what I said into a search engine. What happened to the huge store location? We'll see what I hear back from them. I hope to hear back from them soon. Happy Squad said, med school is really easy. You just have to show up. Also, lots of money in medicine in the U.S. Americans pay a shit ton of money for medical help. How many cats do you have? I have 2 cats. I have an Oreo. I have a Clinton and a Berry. I have an Oreo was an error. I do not have an Oreo. Who is that drawing behind you? That is the drawing of an employee. That was it. Have you ever considered repairing other brands beside Apple? I have, but people don't have patience, so it's not something I can do. To fix other brands, I would have to stock parts for all the different brands, which is almost impossible because there's so many different models. And people want a 1 day to 2 day time for the estimate, if even that. A lot of people don't even want to wait 1 to 2 days for an estimate. And they want the repair to be done in a day or two after that. And that's just not possible unless I have every single part to every single machine right next to me. I can't make that happen. Now, if all the companies made this stuff available easily, at the very least, then I could try, but offer a quicker turnaround. I mean, a slower turnaround on them. But with the amount of work and effort it takes to get anything from any of these companies, it's not viable. This stream is sponsored by Audible. What's your most favorite food? The Lucha Lucha burrito that no longer exists. Alright. It's about time for me to get out of here. This has been 2 hours and 37 minutes. That's a lot of time. So I gotta get going. I'll see you all later. Thank you very much, and yeah, thank you very much for arriving, and I'll see you in the next one.